Hello, guys. Hello, hello, hello. I'm sorry. Hi, hi. I'm sorry that I was late. I was actually on time, actually, and yeah, I don't know what happened here. So, guys, we're carrying off from yesterday, right? We're carrying off from yesterday. Hello, Tanya. Hello, Daniel. Pan African Moors. Good to see you back. Good to see you back. God of Jacob. Good to see you here. Um, Guys, good to see everybody here again, man. My Nigerian life. I know. That yesterday was kind of wild, but today, listen. Today, what we're going to do. I don't know if you watched if you saw in my live in the actual description, but I'm going to moderate it much better. I didn't moderate it that well yesterday, so what I was doing, I was just what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to be biased towards anyone in particular, so I didn't want to turn off someone's mic whilst they were talking. I didn't quite know how to do it, but now that I've laid out the rules so everyone gets an equal amount of time and something equal to say as well. You understand? So you get to say whatever you need to say, but you know, yesterday's conversation, I left it. I was down, man. Honestly, I was. I wrote a video this morning, so I couldn't sleep, and I made a video really early in the morning just to sort of get it off my chest because I was thinking, man, it doesn't feel good. It didn't feel good. Everyone was not about everyone shouting. I don't mind people shouting, but just this, just everybody being happy with, and also the nasty words that people were saying to each other. I was just, man. Gail Lockett, nice to see you back. Nice to see you back. Oh, and I didn't say happy birthday to you, Tanya. Sorry. It was yesterday, wasn't it? Happy birthday, Tanya. Or is it still today? I don't know. Happy birthday anyway, Tanya. Nice to see you, Face. ADOS is of the Pan-African community. What? Did the African slaves only go to America? I don't know. I don't know. Of course, I mean, clearly they didn't, but I don't understand what you mean, Pan-African Moors. ADOS is the Pan-African community. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Yeah, mate. I read your message. Your message was one of the first messages, and I was like, boy, I felt the exact same way. You know, because no matter who we are, okay, no matter what we say, we can say whatever we want to a balloon to the face. Without unity, we ain't winning anything, and we're in a war at this moment. Do you remember the Allies? Do you remember the Allies back in World War II? Did you ever see them say, "Oh well, you know, in the middle of war"? Did you ever see them turn against each other? They didn't do that. They turned against each other after the war was finished, not during the war. That was crazy. They every one of those allies knew they needed one another because their opponent was formidable, right? And even if the opponent wasn't formidable, they knew they had that mindset that, you know what, we'd rather die than give up to you. So this is what I'm saying. We're at war and we're kind of fighting amongst each other. And I'm like, what? This doesn't make sense. And let's be honest, none of us really have numbers, none of us to do the things that we need to do in order to um, get ourselves on track again. Hello, main man Dev. Nice to see you again, Miss Heslop. I think I locked you. I asked you last time whether you were Shaka Heslop's relative. Thanks so much. Yeah, no problem, Tanya. No problem. From your B, Yvette Carnell. equals agent provocateur, but I don't think she's that bad. I think she's one of the okay, she's a bit of an agent provocateur, but I think she has sort of jumped on that bandwagon of political people who see themselves as not being in the limelight until they do something a bit edgy, you know. So yeah, I think people keep an eye on her, but I don't think she's as bad as people make her out to be. I haven't watched enough of Yvette Carnell's speeches. I follow her, and I watch some of her talks on her live shows sometimes. And you know, she's obviously a good orator, and she says the right things. You know, she says the right things. She's the what you call it. I wouldn't say the perfect leader, but she is the perfect leader for the ADOS community, because the reality is she's a woman, she's homosexual, and she is also married to a white woman. So no other political parties could turn around to ADOS and say, oh, you are this, you are racist, you are homophobic, you are. They can't do that. Oh, you are against people who are, who are mixed race. They can't do that. People have to be like, well, no, they can't. But the thing is, I think, and this is something which bothers me actually, because I think some chapters, I might be wrong, some chapters in the United States actually don't see mixed race people. They don't just openly accept anyone, even if they are of foundational Americans of African descent. Even those people, they don't just accept openly anyone, do they? I might be wrong with that. So if anybody knows any better, please let me know. But I thought that they don't just accept everyone. They sort of like, they really do some good checking and making sure that you are African descent of slaves. Greetings, Sheka. Sheka, I like Sheka. Greetings, Biddy. Hello, Yao B. Nakila Gadsden. Hello. The M1. What is shake? What are you shaking your head for? Zenobia Miro Berkeley. What a nice name. Hello, hello. Hello, people of culture. Okay, ADOS is divisive, and so are the other community. No one community has produced anything. Can somebody argue with that? Can anyone turn around and say this is total rubbish? We produced this, that, and the other. I mean, you can't. There's no doubt that ADOS has, and I'm talking about not just the movement. I'm talking about African descent of slaves as a whole. They have the talent. They ooze with talent. They ooze with talent, right? Think about what you've used today that wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for someone of ADOS. Have a think about it. Did you get in an elevator today? Well, guess who made that? You ever step on an escalator in the mall? Who invented that? Think about the inventions that we use every single day that's been produced by someone from the ADOS community. It's pretty cool. People that, of course, they buried it, whitewashed it out in history. Edison did, but yeah, they have done a lot, an awful lot. But the ADOS movement, have they achieved anything? well, they haven't been around for a long time, have they? I mean, of course, the term ADOS has been around for a long time, but the movement hasn't been around for a long time, right? Is it 4 years? And they have maybe not a lot of people, but they have the people that do follow them strongly. You know, they follow them with passion. So you can't take that away from them. But you know, at some point you got to give yourself a plan. Does ADOS have a plan? I mean, the Pan-African movement, and they had a plan many years ago, and I've got people who are following me now who have seen some of the videos that I've been putting out, and I've been criticizing a lot of the Pan-African organizations in Africa now, in the Gambia and in Dakar, in Senegal. I've been criticizing them because the reality is, well, I don't even want to start discussing it here, but the reality is it's not good. It's not good. The next video I'm going to come out with is going to be the next video, and some of you can vouch for this. Oh my gosh. The next video about what's happening in the Senegambia region is going to be so wild that I literally have no choice other than to produce evidence. I don't have a choice, or else people are just going to say, you're just crazy. That's not happened. No. So I have to produce evidence, and I've got a lot of evidence. So it's going to be fun. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, it is. That analogy of World War II is a great one for being on coke. It's true. It's true. And the things we ignore these wars from the past. We ignore them, and it wasn't a long time ago. World War II was 80 years ago. Double digits. That's nothing, right? She is not divisive, y'all. Just don't understand. Y'all don't understand the movement. Then let us understand. Let us understand. It'd be good to see you guys understand. Akan tribesman, hello, and thank you very much. I know. Do you know the Akan Fanti warrior burial song that I play normally on my videos? The link, I think, is in my last motivational video that I posted. You can see it. That's in the description. If the link isn't there, then you will see the name of it. Just Google it or stick it in YouTube. It'll come up. Yeah, thank you. You know what it is, bruv? Just replying to this. Do you know what it is? It's not something I wanted to do, man. Literally, I loved it. A few weeks ago, we was all like, "Oh, brilliant, man! This is all coming to an end," and I was thinking, "This is good." And then the Exodus Alliance stepped in, and boy, they just opened up a whole can of worms, man. Boy. Just total nuts. Because well, you're gonna see yourself. I'm not gonna do any spoilers now, but boy, you wait. Okay. Michelle X is mixed race and on fire, yet accommodating. Okay. Oh, you talking about everyone keeps saying, oh, she's half black, half white. Are we talking about Yvette Carnell? Does anybody know exactly like her racial background? Is she mixed? Is her mother black and her dad white? Dad black, mother white. What is her racial background? Not like it should matter, and it doesn't matter to the ADOS community, which is, I think, is an incredible thing. It's a beautiful thing to see that they haven't just accepted her as one of their own. She's leading them, you know, and for that reason, she's in pole position to sort of to make a decent run and make a decent go at getting something done for the ADOS community. If it was a lot of guys are not going to like what I'm going to say here, but if it was someone that looks like me, you know, and I was giving it like the garb, what everybody else is doing, you know, being really angry, you know, then a lot of folk wouldn't listen to us. She does it quite eloquently. She's got that lovely Southern accent as well. She's you know, I may sound like a fanboy, you know what I mean, but I wish her luck. She's yeah. They are delusional and need to hurry up and repatriate. Well, I don't know who that is. Yvette Carnell has worked in Washington, D.C. political machine, so she's very familiar with the function and dysfunctions. She has been around long enough to know the players and the historic track records. True. We've produced stuff, but what I mean is that we don't own anything like that. That's true. That's true. And we should. We should. You know, and this is why a lot of people talk about Africa. They talk about Africa because, like the Chinese, you will get some American Chinese, some of them, but not all of them. Most of them don't care about America. Even the American Chinese, they're like, yeah. I bet you most of them didn't even vote. So why should I care about the leader of this country? I'm here to make my money. Every Chinese person on this planet, not on this planet, sorry, that's a lie. They have a problem in China where most of the people, in order to get married, that's it, to get married, in order to get married, you need to own 2 pieces of property, don't you, in China. So they have a problem because they have all these empty apartments in this one city. I forgot the name of the city. And people just go there to buy an apartment so they can get married, because they can't get married unless they got that second apartment. You know what I mean? And they're not buying apartments in LA or in New York. Okay, the super rich ones are. Your standard Chinese immigrant is not. They don't care about solidifying their feet in America or in Britain. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's nice to be there. The Chinese middle class is what, 200 million people with a healthy disposable income. That's pretty good. But the fact is, they've got another billion people that's being used in order to produce that healthy 200 million middle class. Thank you, Gail Lockett. Yeah. I'm not sure what the likes do, but please go ahead and like, guys. Yes. I was aware she was married to a white woman. Good to see you again, God of Jacob. People keep stating that what ADOS literally is. ADOS has put out what we literally are. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's true. But I think a lot of people, they still get confused, because the problem is that there are different chapters, and because there's no, I don't know, there's no complete uniformity across those chapters. I might be wrong. Because there's no complete uniformity across these chapters, you could have a chapter in LA who thinks one thing, and then you go over to Florida and they think something completely else. It's like you could be a part of a chapter in LA and not be able to fit into a chapter in Miami because you're not black enough, or because one of your parents was a descendant of a slave, but the other one wasn't. I don't know. I'm just making that up part here, but I know that some chapters, not all these chapters are equal. Some of them are difficult to get into. They look at anyone, even especially black people, with suspicion until they absolutely know they are ADOS. Okay. Olmecs were the first people in North America. That's true. And define North America. We know that black people were in North America long before Columbus. Long time before Columbus. They were navigating the Atlantic a long time before the. I'm going to say something. I don't want to say anything rude, but before they, from Europe, before they managed to spread across the world. The black female mathematicians at ASA. Yep. They were the balls. They were pretty good. I am ADOS, Black American, given more importance and attentions from my US constitutional rights. My Black American melanin is no more of value than any other Pan-African. I would that I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that you know that we're equal in that term. In that term, we are. I mean, undeniably from the same place, whether we be Afro-Brazilian, Afro-Jamaican, Afro-Cuban, African American. We were taken by the same people. So, you know, should we not combat this together? Am I being crazy by saying this? Okay. Face. The dude from Gambia was divisive, so therefore we need to defend ourselves. But you know what? Did you listen? I'm going to tell you this now, Malika. Did you listen to Danny? Did you listen to Danny? Danny, there was the guy that was speaking last night. So we had Nakmizi, we had son of Jacob. Is it son of Jacob? Yeah, God of Jacob. We had those guys. They were talking, and I was like, I was expecting some snapback from those guys. You know what I mean? They don't take things sitting down, do they? But the scariest reaction, I would say, came from this Danny, the guy that was on the panel last night. Because whilst this Gambian man was saying all these nasty things about the African Americans, this Danny was like, yeah, you could see it in his face that he literally, whatever this Gambian man said was completely irrelevant to him. You could see that he had lost that tie completely to the point in which you cannot even offend me. He was at that point. So he was like, yeah, okay, good, move on. And that scared me more than the other guys who probably got a little bit miffed, you know what I mean? Who I knew were going to stand up to that. For me, it was that guy who said, boy, oh boy. And I think someone said, I think it was Face last night, he said that the ADOS movement is small but very dangerous. And I think that's what he meant, you know, because once you have that sort of mindset, no one can stop you. If the mindset I think most Africans in the diaspora we should have, we shouldn't even care about what anybody else thinks. It shouldn't be relevant to us. We shouldn't be able to be offended by anyone else unless they are of African origin. Like the Chinese, anyone else, whatever they say, it shouldn't matter. We should be like, okay. Try offending a Chinese person in China. I mean, it'd be difficult to do. Try offending a Chinese person. Try and be racist to him. He'll walk through you. You'd be lucky if he even acknowledges your existence. It's literally like that. And we should have that day to day. The message is uniform. The day-to-day operation is different. I know. But the thing is that the message is sort of convoluted a little bit because of that. the day-to-day operations. Some of them are a lot more political. Some chapters are more political and refined, and other chapters are just militant. You know. Let's have a look. Dev, what you're saying, isn't ADOS literally the black people itself? Black Lives Matter, ADOS tribalism within Pan-Africa. Wow, I just don't understand that. You're speaking deep for me, Pan-African Moors. Hello, Tobo Lumaka. How much is the annual membership? Is that the one which costs $1,000 for a lifetime? What are you talking about? You're talking about ADOS, Ali Jones. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure there was a membership fee. I mean, I assumed there was a membership fee, but I didn't know it was $1,000. You know, I didn't want to speak about this tonight. First, I really wanted to move on. You saw the subject matter yesterday. It had nothing to do with ADOS. I really wanted to speak and have a nice joint conversation about something a little different. But, you know, I don't want to stop people from talking about a certain subject. You understand? So if they want to come on, they want to chat about that. I allow people to talk. I allow people to talk. ADOS101.com tells you exactly what they are. Okay, you have no idea what you're saying about ADOS chapters. Okay, well, the fact that I am confused doesn't say much about the communication skills, does it really? Yeah, I mean, I didn't know ADOS101.com existed until you just told me, you know? And a lot of times I've spoken about the ADOS, I've spoken about ADOS. First thing I've had is, boom, don't be talking about ADOS. You're not able to talk. Come on, man. I mean, you can't stop me from talking about it. So educate me about it, you know, just, you know. And yesterday I learned a lot. I've learned a lot in the last few days, in all honesty. But like Danny was saying, Danny, the ADOS guy from yesterday, he's saying some of the ADOS guys are so two-dimensional. It's all about, oh, we hate Africans. And it's just, you know, you get some of those people who are just like that. I agreed with Danny with that one, because it's like, that is exactly what I'm getting. That's why, that could be possibly part of the reason why it isn't growing as fast as it should be, right? Maybe it's part of the reason why it's not growing as fast. But who knows this ADOS101.com? Why is it? Okay, you want to get people involved who are only ADOS, but anyway. But you don't have to be part of the political ADOS movement to be from that lineage. I don't support ADOS political movement, but I have ADOS lineage. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's good. That's true. That's true. Who are ADOS? Is that Ali? ADOS is tired of you. We are tired of carrying you. Yeah. Yeah. It's a funny one, that is, because most people, most ADOS, most Americans of foundational Americans of African descent, that they are progressives. And I like that. I've got to be honest with this, God of Jacob. I like the progressive, intelligent, foundational Americans of African descent that are coming out of the United States now. And it blows my mind. I told you that I lived in the States. If you go to any of the tired, dried out, funky high schools inside the Bronx, go to any one. Go to any one of the ones in the black districts where only black kids go to. There, and they do exist. Go to Co-op City, right? Go to Co-op City and look on the board, and you'll see a whole list of students. It's normally about 10, I think, right? That are graduating that year, and they're all getting full rides to Yale, Harvard, MIT, and they're just being absorbed. The government are just taking these kids. It's like, those are ours. Pay for everything. Come work for NASA afterwards. It's crazy, you know, what talent the Foundation of Americans of African Descent are pumping out, and that we are still in this damn position. Why are we still here? Crazy. Americans descent of slaves. American descent of slaves. ADOS agency promotes hate for non-American black immigrants. Is that true? Is that true? What as ADOS? Okay, so you know who ADOS is. Okay. sorry. Yes. Feel free to join, guys. I've put the link in the comments. Feel free to join. I'm sorry about that. I only just put it in. I'm going to try and catch up with your messages now. ADOS is growing. Can a group of African descendants grow? I think he means as like the organization is growing. Many more people are joining. That kind of attitude doesn't make your movement relative and to be taken seriously. I can see it. Hello, Simumba. Good to see you back. Good to see you back. The chapter we opened in Virginia is focused on producing local candidates. We teach politics 90 minutes a day. That's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. Okay. Okay. Do you know what? I'm with that. I'm with that. The hatred amongst us is extremely disturbing. Tell you what, that's what, Crispy. This is why I was sad yesterday. I was so I don't know. I couldn't even get to sleep because I was thinking to myself, are we really talking to each other like this? There are people out there that want us dead, and we're talking to each other like this. It's just, man. Okay, guys, listen. I've got people that want to join the chat anyway, so I'm going to quickly go through these. Messages. Where in Virginia? I'm in Hampton Rocks. I wish I could call in, but I'm at work. See what you can do. Just me. See what you can do. ADOS and FBI are the same lineage. We're just tired of black immigrants coming into America. What about the other immigrants? So, EYB. What about the other immigrants? ADOS people have no power, so I didn't hate towards Africans. Okay. Okie dokie. I'm disappointed that people are agreeing with ADOS on reparation at the same time disagreeing with them about their xenophobic messages on Africa. It should be condemned, period. It's a big one. Good money. O'Shea Duke Jackson in the house. Okay, guys. O'Shea Duke Jackson, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. It's well appreciated. I've got Nakmizi, I've got El Kinte. I've got them in the house now as well. I'm going to bring some of the guys in. guys. By the way, before I let you in, remember there are rules this time, so we're not talking over each other. Actually, it was Nakmeezy that sort of advised me last night afterwards that I should try and be a bit better at organizing the people. So this time we're not all going to be shouting over each other. We're going to have a certain amount of time to talk. So we've got 2 minutes to talk if we're going to say anything. And we're just going to keep it respectful, okay? We're going to keep it respectful, no swearing, no shouting. We don't need to shout at each other anymore, so because we're not going to be shouting over each other. And yeah, let's have you guys in. And I'm not sure. Let's have a look. You're all online now. You're all there, guys. Welcome to the chat.
Hello.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Good. Nakmeezy, I think you're. Say it again. Talk again, Nakmeezy.
No, I just unmuted myself because I'm going to stay muted when everyone's speaking, and I'm going to allow you to unmute me. I think if you control people's mute, then we'll have a better build. So I'm going to go back on mute. When you're ready for me, unmute me.
Perfect. I'll do that now then, okay? So you are now muted. Oh, Kinte, I'll start with you. You there, mate?
Yeah, mate. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. Are you in bed?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a very tight spot, and I cannot show my face, due to the circumstances. But listen,
That's
yesterday
okay. What have you got to say?
Yeah, yesterday I was listening to your live, man, and I was deeply gutted by some of the panelists. I mean, the vitriol coming from most of the mates out there. I mean, it's not even necessary.
It wasn't.
I mean,
it wasn't. I agree.
I mean, we have to ask ourselves some very deep question: why we are in this life, even why we joined this life, because we are here to bridge the gap.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why when there should be that animosity calling each other names. It's not like it's not necessary. I'm in Holland right now.
Yeah.
I'm a Gambian, born and raised in Gambia. Do you understand?
Okay.
So I'm studying in Holland right now, and I've got African American friends.
Mm. Yeah.
And
sorry, you study in the Netherlands?
Yeah, sure.
But what part? What city?
I'm in South.
Eindhoven. That's all right. Right. Yeah. Nakmeezy is also from the Netherlands. He's living in the Netherlands. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Nakmeezy, I think he wanted to speak. Did you want to speak, Nakmeezy? Right. Wait. Okay. He's got 1 more minute. Carry on talking. What was he saying, Kite? So you were saying that you were saying that you were disappointed with this. Who's a Gambian guy, right? This Afrinamus. That was talking. Is it Afrinamus?
Afrodamus.
He was Gambian. Yeah. So you don't follow his same sort of ethos.
No, I don't think so. Like, because we're from different backgrounds, different cultures. Okay, I've met people here that they do things that I would not necessarily do, but I wouldn't go and tell them, pointing fingers. No, you don't do things like that. So we have to accept. We have to, accept each other and respect each other's ways. I mean, Gambia is a very cultural country, man. If you've been to Gambia, you know.
I have been to Gambia, and I love that country, really do. And it's in a great.
And my mates here, some from the UK, some from the USA. I mean, okay, of course, I've met some people, horrible people, down the road, but I wouldn't say all African Americans are like that. Of course, I've met good African Americans down down the road here who treat me very well, decent people, So like you cannot lump people in the same basket and start calling each other's name, the ADOS guys this, the AA guys this. No, it's pure bullshit. Sorry for my language.
No, that's understandable. That's understandable. It's kind of childish, right? I mean, I can't believe that we've got men on here. We're talking and we can't literally talk in a diplomatic way. Sorry, there's someone else talking.
I disagree with that a little bit, because the ADOS movement, particularly, they have an issue. It's just similar how some Brits over here hate the Poles, the Eastern Europeans. Is that effect going on? So some ADOS movement do have a problem. Not all of them, but most of them do have a problem. I'll cut it there and then interject later.
Oh, okay. So what, you mean British black people have a problem with Eastern Europeans, you think?
No, it's like how some English people over here, poorer, have a problem. Have a problem with Eastern Europeans as well. That competition is creating this animosity, but they have no basis to really hate other Africans apart from the competition for jobs and all that stuff. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
But
May McGee, I just wanted to say thank you to May McGee. Thank you very much.
But
also
when you look,
sorry,
excuse me.
Carry on talking.
I'm saying, like, when we put our common interests first, because like we all have something, that bind us together, and that's our interests as Black people globally. That's what we should push forward, and all these differences, we should put aside. It's not necessary, bro.
Yeah,
you get me?
Yeah.
That's true, but the diaspora is united, but these fringe movement in the ADOS group is causing all these unnecessary division. The missions between ADOS and the Pan-African are completely separate missions. They have completely separate aims. ADOS could completely focus their aims within the United States and not interfere with the diaspora moving back. They are completely separate missions that don't necessarily overlap. We could actually support each other in our own respective missions. So I don't see why the need to hate Africans and why that's coming. I don't even understand that. It's unnecessary.
But don't you think like we are giving so much attention and energy into them, like, because you cannot put you cannot give a negative energy so much time. I mean, it doesn't worth it. If you feel like they are doing something that you are not in line with, I mean,
it's just if you have characters like Taffy and all of them taking it all down to the African continent, you have to worry about that. I'm sure when you have it happening like that, you have to worry about it a little bit, don't you think, my brother?
Yeah, of course, I can agree with you to a certain level, but I feel like we should put our common interest first.
Yes, that's true. The competition, it's a competition. It's a competition for in societies. You understand? But we should put our common interest first. But the problem didn't emerge from anybody else apart from when the ADOS movement started preaching. Not all. I'm gonna be careful not to generalize.
Yeah.
Some of them started to preach this message, isn't it?
Guys. Okay, so 2 minutes is up. So I just put a message up. I just needed to speak to Nakamizi. So I'm going to mute you guys. You can listen in, please. After Nakamizi, I'm going to have Mr. Pirate back again. Nice to see him back again, actually. Okay, so I'm just going to unmute. Unmute. You're unmuted. You there, Nakamizi?
I'm here.
You there, mate? Yeah. Cool.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Good to see you back. Thanks for joining us again. Like I said, I'm going to take your advice. I'm just going to have a discussion this way. Just mute everybody. So, yeah. What do you say about this? I don't know. There's a lot of plans coming out, and of course, I believe everything everyone says. But you know, whilst you're here, then you can answer this back straight away. That's good.
What do you want me to answer? What do you want me to address?
Easy claims he left the platform because they were hating on Africans. Yeah, okay. I'll leave you the floor.
Absolutely. Okay, so all right. So Sheikh Ibra Amar, I'm glad that you brought that point up. So we're going to touch on a couple of points because there's this narrative that I hate Africans. Okay, and I challenge anyone to provide a shred of proof that I have anti-African rhetoric and not anti-African government rhetoric. When I speak on experiences that happen in Africa, you can look at my videos. There's one called ADOS is Africa is West Africa or Ghana is not ready for ADOS to move back or something to that effect. And when I filmed, I made sure and I spoke on it to not film people's faces. Okay. And also I ended it on what was the good part of Ghana. That's a fact. So now to my brother Sheikh Amar's point, I did leave a platform because it was anti-African and anti-Caribbean. And you can, I don't like to promote anyone else's platform because I don't believe in speaking about a man if he's not there to defend himself. So I'm not going to put the platform up. Daniel Boone can do it if he wants. But there was a show called 14th Amendment and Birthright Citizenship. And in that show, there was a narrative that said Africans and people from the Caribbean are threats. My point on that show was, how can you call Africans and Caribbean people a threat if you haven't done a threat assessment? Okay. And then I was called, oh, well, you know, they're a threat because they're here, or you know, basically, and I just said, that doesn't make any sense. And the guy who told me that, who said that, is actually married to an African. His kid was born in Africa. So I said, look, behind the scenes, he and I had a conversation, just like you and I had a conversation behind the scenes, because I'd rather do it behind the scenes, man to man. Okay. So yes, I did leave that platform. As a matter of fact, I left it about a month and a half earlier. And then I put my own video out, which was called Faces of the Diaspora, Black American in Holland, where I interviewed myself and I spoke on the fact that there are people that share my lineage as ADOS, right-wingers, who are anti-African, who are anti-people from the Caribbean. And people said that I'm compromised because my wife is from the Caribbean. So that's my official standpoint. I don't look at other Black people as threats. I am focused primarily on my lineage, which are Black Americans. But since I'm not in Black America right now, I'm in Holland, I still do work in the Black community here. And you have a subscriber, Jose Bronze. Do you know Jose Bronze?
Sorry, say that again.
Jose Bronze. It looks like Jose. He's from Cape Verde. He's done business in Senegal and Gambia. Maybe he'll come up one day. He actually called me one night because we were setting up something to stand on the front lines for Black people in Den Haag at that time. There was an anti-Black protest. We are not protesters. We provided security for the women that were on the front line. He called me at 9:30 at night, says, I want to meet with you one day. I said, where you at right now? I left my house, met with him, and then he stood on the front line with me. So my words, while uncomfortable truths, my actions speak louder than words. And my actions is say that I'm doing stuff here in Holland to support the Black community. I'm doing stuff to support the Black community in Ghana right now. And I've done stuff since I was 17 years old. So actually before that, all the way from Hands Across America, all the way up to the Million Man March, I've been on the front line for Black people in America, and here and also in Ghana.
Let me ask you something, you've got 30 seconds to answer this. Are you or not part of the ADOS actual movement, the organization? Are you or are you not?
No. So look, I am not. but ADOS is my lineage. That's why sometimes I'll get on here and I'll put Nakmizi, defender of ADOS. So what I do is I take all the smoke that is directed to Black Americans, foundational Black Americans or ADOS, however you call it. But what I don't do, while I support the reparations 100%, only for Black Americans coming from the American government, I'm very clear about that. I do not entertain that anti-African and anti-Caribbean vitriol that exists with some people in ADOS. Now, there's a brother right now, Pan-African Moors. He is ADOS, or he is a Black American, but he is also a Pan-African. People accuse me of being a Pan-African because I love Black people. But you can be ADOS and be a Pan-African. Because if you look at it, some of the hardcore Pan-Africans were foundational Black Americans. When Kwame Nkrumah wanted to get down with the get down, he came to New York City, Black America. They didn't go to ADOS South, like Daniel Boom is talking about. They all came to America. I mean, to New York City. So that's my official standpoint. So that's what it is. I get busy in these streets. You and I have had conversations behind the scenes because when you made a video about what's the brother who made the manifesto in California? You know who I'm talking about. Oh, and the brother in
yeah.
Did you delete that video, by the way?
Yeah.
Xavier and
no. I'm surprised they kept it up, actually. I'm surprised they kept it up.
Okay, now that video is what's up. I love that video, and based on that, I reached out to you, and somewhere in the middle, it went south with you and I, but we're good right now. So look, that video right there caused me to reach out to you because that is my standpoint. I am a warrior. I'm not a politician. So I leave the politics to the politicians, but I am on the front line for Black people worldwide. So what you said in that video, and I'm not going to quote you, but you know what I'm talking about repercussions for putting their hands on our people. I already initiated something called a 2-for-1 deal. For every one of us is 2 of y'all, and I'm not going to get too more graphic than that.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thanks for speaking. Now, stay with us, because I'm going to have Danny come in now. Danny, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, Danny, so, I'm going to unmute you now. I think you were muted. I'm going to yeah, no, you're not muted. Go ahead. Say your thing. I mean, what do you think? I mean, I'm glad that we're able to speak it now. We're not shouting over each other. Sorry, just real quickly. Just me. Thank you very much, by the way. Thank you very much. How are we going to get to this point where we can sort of organize ourselves in a way? I don't know if you heard what I said about you a little earlier, but I spoke about us in general as Black people having the same sort of attitude that you sort of showed us yesterday, where you were just you had this guy talking, literally saying nasty things about yourself and your people, and I don't know, you just seem to be sort of oblivious to it. Because I made the assumption it was you don't see him as being a part of you, as even being relevant to actually answer to. So
he's a Gambian. It's nothing. Gambian, but he was. This is what I'm telling you. This is why we need to differentiate and understand the difference between what we're actually talking about, and which is why I disagree with Nakmizi. He got his story, but he oversimplified it and kind of like misrepresented what happened. And like to the African brothers, like there's this clear distinction between being of ADOS lineage and being a part of ADOS as it relates to the movement and understanding what that movement represents. So if you're just talking about lineage, it probably would be better like you identify with like the Tariq Nasheed faction of like FBA, you know what I mean? Because they're less politically entwined. Like it's less about politics and ideology and more about just straight lineage when you start listening to your Tariq Nasheeds. So like Nakmizi, like he's not ADOS. He's a Pan-African. You know what I mean? With, you could say, ADOS lineage. You know, he's the foundation of Black America. So when he come into a conversation, he just causes confusion when you use ADOS with that. So as it relates to the African, as it relates, excuse me?
He wasn't the only person that said that you can be ADOS and also Pan-African at the same time. Somebody else said it in the comment section as well.
You can, but you need to understand what it means when you say that you're ADOS and what you're representing and what's behind that message. Like, you can't just say, "Oh, I'm ADOS because my people came from slaves." Yes, but like I say, I gave you the ADOS 101. There's a clear set agenda and different things that goes with it that we represent, that we're talking about. And when you come into these Pan-African spaces, if the only thing that you know is that my people came from slaves and I don't hate Africans or Africans did this, then you dumb down the conversation and you bring confusion in it. Because I'm gonna tell you, like, a fundamental principle of ADOS,
Danny,
that Nakmeezy,
you know, he's here, so I'm gonna literally just put him on, but I don't want to get off track too much, okay? So I'm gonna put him on so he can answer that. I think it's only respectful that he gets to answer that. Is that okay, Nakmeezy? Do you want to?
Absolutely. I'm here for it.
Yeah, we play. It ain't gonna be all that arguing and yelling. We play it.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Nakmeezy. I'm gonna give you talk.
Okay. So I want to say something. Last night when I came on the chat, because I listened to yesterday's show on the way to work, and my name was mentioned 14 times before I even checked in. And when I checked in, I just heard it once in the chat. I didn't realize that this was Daniel Boom. And Daniel Boom comes from that other platform. That's where he knows me from. Anyone who checked in last night, I asked him, I said, "Where do you know me from?" And he was being vague. He was saying, "Oh, from the content you put out." No, this guy, I blocked him off of my channel, off of a video called The Caribbean Question, Allies or Adversaries. He wanted me to attack this Haitian woman over reparations. And what he said was, if you don't answer this right, I'm going to unsubscribe. I said, how about this?
No, I said keep the same energy with Caribbeans as you do with Africans. Because you have the tendency, you don't keep the same energy with Africans that you do with Caribbeans.
I'm not finished.
I said keep the same energy with the Haitians as you do with the Africans.
I'm not finished. I'm
just saying, don't misrepresent what I said.
No, I'm not finished. So I put it like this.
I'll allow you to reply afterwards, Danny.
So put it like this. I'll make the YouTube channel challenge. If you can go to
real quickly. I think
and he's going off topic.
It's cracking, something like that.
Is it mine?
I think so. I mean, I can hear
my house is quiet. Everyone's upstairs.
Okay, try keep your mic down. Try and keep the mic down so it's not close to your face, and then I think we can hear you clearly. Okay, yeah. Try talk again.
Okay, no mic. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, you let me know what's better. So here's the YouTube channel challenge. I'll delete my channel. If anyone can go to my video called Caribbean Question, Allies or Adversaries, where when I was addressing a Haitian woman, he said, if you don't handle, it was in the chat, he was like, if you don't handle this question correctly, I'm unsubscribing from you. At that point, I said, how about this? Unsubscribe and I'm blocking you. And then I cursed him out in Haitian Creole and I said, get my mouth. Okay, that's a fact. So now the thing with Daniel, and he didn't say when he came up here, is that he's been following me all over the internet. He claims to not be in Pan-African spaces, but he's always following me everywhere I go. And when you and I had the conversation behind the scenes, you said,
you just stick to the topic, man, of discussion, and you taking us all around the world. You personalizing this.
That's how
this isn't personal, bro. You personalizing it.
No, it's personal because you're a personal troll. Now, mute your mic and let me finish. Mute your mic and let me finish. I'm gonna ask you some questions. So this guy has an issue with me because I don't bang on Africans and bang on Caribbeans like that. And I challenge anyone listening to give me the video and the timestamp where I'm banging on Africans just because they're Africans. Now, my question to him is, what are you physically doing for Black Americans right now? I want the name of the program, what you're doing, the LY, and everything right now. Your turn.
Listen. Oh, you deflecting.
I'm asking you a question.
You're deflecting because I specifically said that what you are conflating different topics and you're bringing confusion into the situation. When I said that you need to handle the topic of reparations with the Haitian, I said if you don't answer it right because you like to represent that you're ADOS, if you don't address that topic as an ADOS person should, then yeah, I'll unsubscribe because you're wishy-washy. Your message is wishy-washy and you don't stand on nothing. You don't know what you're talking about as it relates to ADOS. So you need to just drop the ADOS, stop going to Pan-African places, arguing with people as if you're the defender of ADOS because you don't even know what ADOS is about. Your ideology, is not aligned with ADOS.
What are you doing for Black Americans right now?
I'm with my American wife.
No. What are you doing for the Black Americans
take care of my American wife and my Black American children in Black America?
What are you doing for the Black American community right now? Because I can give you
it starts at home, bro. It starts at home, bro.
What I do for Black people here right now. I want that from you.
At home. It starts at home. It starts at home.
Okay,
the greatest thing you can do for your community.
You are a liability. You're a liability because you're not doing anything for your community except follow me all around YouTube trying to troll me.
Guys,
that's what you're doing.
Sorry.
Look, he emotional. He unhinged. He can't even have this conversation.
I want you to tell me what you're doing. What are you doing?
Guys, please. Sorry, please. Sorry,
hey, guys. Can I answer?
We need to accord each other. Sorry, guys. Let me talk. Mr. Negropian. This is El Quinte. Listen, guys. We need to accord each other with maximum respect. We need to accord each other with maximum respect in order to have a proper decorum. Because right now we have 121 people listening. This topic, this live should be solution-driven, not based on emotionalism. Let's not replicate what happened yesterday, please.
Okay. Yeah, he's got a point, guys. Nakamizi and Dane, we're gonna have you back in a moment, but I want to speak to Akan tribes. Also, I want to bring in the pirate into it just in a moment after Akan tribes, because of course I want to speak to Akan tribes because well, I think he's going to have a different perspective. I'm feeling Akan tribes. The floor is yours. You got a couple of minutes.
Oh, hello.
I can't hear you.
Hello. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Sorry. One moment. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Hello. Hi. Negropian. Yeah, my fellow Negropian. Yeah. I'm in London, and I mean, thanks for actually bringing this panel up, because a lot of times we Europeans, we hardly,
no problem,
being heard. The thing is, we as Black people, I use the word Black, or African, because not everybody identify as African anyway. So we as Black people, we need to look at what binds us together rather than what divides us. I actually listen to a lot of American panels, because in Britain, we haven't got too many panels like the Americans have got. So, I mean, we tend to watch a lot of American panels. And one thing I notice is that they can spend 6, 7, 8, 10 hours going at each other. They start off with a nice topic, and then they veer off, and then it's all, banter, as we say. You get me? One thing we have to realize is that Black people in America, have actually played a major role in the advancement of Africa.
Look it ugly, nigga.
Yeah.
Get ugly, nigga.
Without Black America, Africa wouldn't have had its independence. I'll tell you why. Kwame Nkrumah came to the HSBCs and
while in Holland married to a biracial Caribbean wife.
Can I carry on?
Yeah. Sorry,
Hello?
someone's talking. Sorry, give me a moment.
Your man.
Can you mute them up, please?
Your man.
I'll do that now. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. I would say that without Black America, Africa probably wouldn't have its independence, because Kwame Nkrumah had to go to university in America as someone who was more conservative. He was more capitalist. And when he got to America and mixed up with, got introduced to the Malcolm X's and all the chaps who were actually in the progressive movement, that's where his mindset changed. And then he came back to Ghana, completely different person, and actually started joined up with other scholars in Ghana and actually pushed for independence. That's the reason why Ghana was the first country in Africa to get independence. Liberia was more, Liberia was more like an independent nation because of the American expatriation that was sent there. So if you look at someone also, another one which I'm saying that ADOS is not a joke, is that they've moved Africa forward, even with our modern day music or Afrobeats. If you look at Fela also was a conservative until he went to America, got into the ADOS movement of the 60s, befriended them, and then he started mixing music with the American, I don't know what type of music they had then, went back to Africa and then started fighting the government. And then we ended up creating Afrobeats. Thirdly, if you look at South Africa, without ADOS, South Africa probably will still be in bondage today, because it was the American blacks who actually pressured the government to actually get Mandela out, with other, sanctions, you get me? So the youth of America today should realize that they've played a major role in the advancement of Africa. Like they've played a major role in their own advancement. So they are not, apart from what they've achieved in the... Yeah.
Why is it that all these things that the African Americans have done for Africa, for the continent of Africa, why is it that they've largely been forgotten? Whose fault is that?
I think it comes with time, with everything. I mean, once upon a time, Detroit was the motor city of the world. Today, we started struggling. Everything decays if you don't keep it up. So I would say I'll blame them, and also I'll also blame the system in America, which tried to subjugate them or try to erase their history or whatever they've done for the rest of the world. You get me? So what I come to say, what I'm trying to say is that I was born in Britain, just like you were. And my background is my mom's Ghanaian and my dad's Nigerian, but I'm Britain first. This is my tribe. Not all of us is going to go back to, I'm actually going back to Ghana next year to live, probably for a long time. But not every, not every British is going back to Ghana. Not every black British is going back to Ghana. And not every black American is going to live in America, in Africa. So I would say we are our own tribes where we are. If we all move back to Africa, that means that, anyone could just drop a bomb on us and that's it. That's the reason why I'm saying that we have to strengthen where black people are in the Caribbean, in Africa, in America, wherever, so that we're just as strong. The British deliberately put their slaves in Australia on purpose. The Spanish went down to South America. The British and the Dutch went to America, New York, and all that, and started spreading. They spread their tentacles. It's not many of them, but at least you could see that they've kind of spread across the world. So what's stopping us from trying to kind of like wherever we are, we have to kind of make it strong rather than fighting amongst each other. I don't blame the ADOS trying to say again.
That's a smart Move.
Yeah.
That's a really smart move. I want to bring Mr. Pirate in. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna leave now. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna leave.
Okay, I'll come back later. I just have to do something. I'll come back later.
Okay. Nice. Thank you for talking. Mr. Pirate, you've been very, very patient. Thank you very much. You've muted yourself though.
Hey, hi. I just unmuted myself. Thank you.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know that I was giving you a shout out saying how you doing today, but I didn't put unapologetic Negropean. I just put Negropean. Do you know that YouTube blocks that name?
Oh, wow. No way. Really?
Yeah, it'll block it off your page. You can't just put in Negropean. I just wanted to let you know
that. I didn't know that. Wow, that's crazy.
Your name is, if you don't use the whole name, it's like considered a curse word, I guess.
Thanks for letting me know that. How are things anyway?
Yeah.
Did you listen? Did you manage to listen to what we spoke about yesterday? Yesterday was pretty harsh, man.
I heard some of it, and I kind of when the platforms, and not just yours, any of them, when they just devolve in this kind of chaos, I just turn it off. It's so much negative stuff going on in the world right now. I don't have to expose myself to us infighting like that.
That's understandable.
You know, it has nothing to do with you. It's just that I just, you know, because I think a lot of us come on these platforms, and like I was listening earlier, you know, instead of stating your case about something, we tend to attack the other person without any kind of factual evidence, you know. And then when you're asked, well, what are you doing? It's like, well, I'm just existing. You know, that's like your defense for behaving poorly, you know. And I don't like attacking our people, but at some point we got to stop this bad behavior, because people tend to look at us and they've forgotten, like this last gentleman that was speaking, they forgot all the things we've done to help Africa and Black people around the world, and all they see is this ignorance that we are putting towards each other, and it's not all our fault, because I'll give you an example. Like, Obama was in office. Now, I got my issues with Obama, but he was a decent president. He didn't do enough for Black people, which is true, but he was halfway decent. At least you didn't wake up every morning feeling like you had a weight on your shoulder, you know. And when Trump got in office, what did he do? First thing he started doing was erasing him. If he had got another 8 years, he wanted to make it so you never knew he existed, you know. And we've had another Black president, but he was erased from history. You see what I'm saying? He was erased from history. People don't know it, you know. And that's what they're doing with ADOS. So people forget. Africans don't even realize the stuff that we've done to help them. And we're powerful when we fight, like this gentleman up top with the flag behind him. When we fight, we're warriors. You know, when we decide to fight, we win. But the problem is we don't have we don't have Africa fighting for us. Now, this is not an attack on Africa. This is just an observation. They don't fight for us. They're not calling up the United States, hey, what are you doing killing our people in the streets? But, you know, when they're killing Africans in Nigeria and these other places, we're speaking up. You know, we're speaking up. And in South Africa, we were speaking, because I was in that time period. I'm 59. So I was a young man during the time when we were boycotting South Africa. And I've seen place. I've never gone to Africa. I'm planning on going, but I've gone all through South America. I've been to Spain. I've lived in Argentina. So, you know, a lot of things have changed in my life because of travel. And a lot of these people that are ADOS that are talking all of this negative stuff about other Africans around the world, it's because they never left the country. I don't think if they left the country, they would have that same opinion towards other Black people around the world, because travel is the enemy of prejudice. You know what I'm saying? If you travel, you don't feel the same way you do when you're just sitting in a lot of ADOS has never left the city that they live in, let alone the state or the country. You know, I'm from Baltimore, but right now I'm in Austin. I've lived in Florida. I've lived in Argentina. I've been to Brazil, Peru. You know, it's just I've been to Madrid. You know, it's a type of thing where you have to travel to get to know people and see that, wow, it's not, America's not how you thought it was.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. So
that's what's going on. That's why you have so much hate that's going on. And I'm ADOS too, and I refuse to let someone else tell me how I should represent myself. You know, just because I don't think the way you do doesn't mean you get to tell me I'm not American descendants of slavery. You don't get to tell me that, you know, and I'm not going to argue that point with the person. And I believe what they're doing is okay, but I don't believe in the hate and the vitriol.
Okay, well, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
We've got Nakmizi and Danny. I'm going to let them speak again in a bit, right? You know, I'm just going to ask you, because these two have sort of opposing views. Sort of, it's a little confusing actually, because we have like sorry, how do I even say this? The chapter, the ADOS chapter where you are now, how are they? What is their ethos? Are they more militant? Are they more political? How do they speak like you? You're speaking like in a way where, I don't know, I just have a feeling that the ADOS movement would have a different face if everyone was like you.
Yeah, you talking to me? Okay.
I'm talking to you. Yeah.
Here's my feeling on it.
Yeah.
And I'll answer this. The gentleman. I'm sorry. I think his name is Nakis. I'm not sure your name, but pardon me for that.
Nakmizi.
Nakmizi. Yeah. He asked the gentleman, "What has he done?" Okay. What are some of the things that I've done in travel? I've worked with people in other countries, and I marched for the freedom of South Africa. And if you look me up, if you look on my channel, Mr. Pirate Brain, I've got music. It's not so much deep as the music I've done under the name Pirate Brain featuring David Moore. If you look that up, it's all political house music. It's all talking about our freedom and things that we've gone through. I've put that out, and I've been putting that type of music out for 20 years, over 20 years, you know, and I don't really promote it like I should say, but that's what I've done. And you know that when you do music, it stays out and it vibrates for a while. You know, it vibrates and people hear it and it goes into their head. So these are the things that I do. Do I really do things? I speak on my lineage and I want to get reparations. And I told you before, I think that unless other groups of people that are not ADOS are saying, hey, I agree with you, you need to get your reparations, I think they need to stay out of the conversation. I've said that before, because I think if you're not saying we need to get reparations the way we see we need to get it. Whether, because I've seen people that are Caribbean, for example, saying, well, I don't think we need cash reparations. Well, wait a minute. You're not part of that conversation. And I would never say that to a Caribbean trying to get reparations from England or from whatever country it is. I would never say that. So I agree with that position. You see, I don't think it's a place for anybody that's not.
Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
Actually, I'm going to speak to Nakmizi here. I'm going to bring Nakmizi in. But Nakmizi, before you speak, you're speaking with Danny, right? I want to ask you one question because there doesn't. I want to ask you this again as well, Mr. Pirate, because there seems to be everyone seems to be giving me different answers when it comes to reparations. It's like some people are saying, some ADOS people are literally saying, listen, it can't always all be cash. You know what I mean? It needs to be slightly different. I think Jacob, God of Jacob, last said, listen, whatever we do with our money, we do with our money. That's nobody else's business, and it should be that way. And I think another gentleman said, we can't have all cash because if we have all cash, it's going to just drop back down into the pockets of our enemies. And so we have different people saying different things. Nakmizi, I'm going to let you answer this first, okay? And then I'm going to speak to Danny, and you guys can speak to speak. We'll see. We'll see if we speak. But I want the ADOS guys to answer this one first, okay? So you're unmuted. You're unmuted now. Go ahead.
Okay. So unapologetic. How am I doing so far tonight with the angry thing? Am I doing good? All right?
Yeah, you're doing very well. You did well last night as well. You did very well.
All right. So the brother who just spoke before me, he hits on every single point that I try to let out. But I think he can be my anger translator, because I'm not going to allow someone to decide how I represent my lineage. Okay. So whatever he said, I co-sign it. So now to your question. There's something we have in the Black American community, which is called pocket watching. If I want to check, mind your business. And I'll tell you why I want to check. Like, I have a daughter upstairs right now. And, some of us go to church and stuff, but I pay tithes to my daughter. Minimal €600 a month. Last month, I put away €1,000 for my daughter to give her generational wealth that was not given to me. Okay. So I need that money. And while I'm waiting for that money, I'm out in these streets and doing my job. I'm getting this money. Okay. So now here's the thing with money versus land, because some people are saying, give me land and you can pass that down. You can buy land any way you want. You can take that money and buy land in Argentina, buy land in Ghana, not the free bum African-American land that they're trying to go there and say, oh, I don't have no money, give me free land in Ghana. No. Buying land at a market value, okay? I don't want some cheap land that someone's gonna give me that in case I wanna leave, I'm stuck to that land or I gotta sell it. You end up selling it for what? Money. Cut the check. Generational wealth needs to be passed down. I need to be able to move how I want. I need to be able to invest, start businesses for my daughter. Okay. So that's what we talk about when we say cut that check. So if someone wants the land, that's fine. They can have it, but don't watch my pockets.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well spoken. Yes, I'm gonna speak to Danny now. Danny, you still there?
Can I speak, please? Negro friend.
Kinte, we're gonna. Yes. Yeah. It's okay. One moment, Danny. We're gonna have Kinte come in here.
So my man addressed a very important point where he mentioned like the the lack of passion from the African continent to fight for our fellow brothers and sisters from the US. So I would love to talk about that point a little bit. You know, I think like, don't you think so? Like people who lack political and economic power, obviously they cannot have a social power, because listen, the African continent, we've been fighting for far too long in the UN Security Council to be included, but they sideline us. So do you think Africa is in a position to fight on behalf of our brothers in the United States? And how do you want us to do
that? Yeah, that's a good question. Was
that question for me, sir? Was that question for me to answer?
Yes. That's for you.
Okay, that's a good question. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm 25 years old. I'm 25.
Okay, I get it. I have a daughter that's 37, I'm sorry. And there's a lot of things. She's a college graduate of American University. There's a lot of, being a college graduate, she's very intelligent, but she lacks that history that I have. You know, I go back to I turned 18 in 1979. So that was around the time we were marching for the freedom of South Africa. Now, you want to talk about political juice. At that time, we had Ronald Reagan in office. We were really repressed at that time. We didn't have a lot of money. You know, we were going through the same thing. In fact, I'll go back even further. My mother did the sit-ins in the 1960s. We couldn't even go in restaurants. We had no political juice. So I think to say, well, we don't have political juice and stuff, to say you can't use your voice to speak out, I think it's an excuse. And I mean that with no disrespect. It's an excuse because most Black people at this moment don't have that political power. There are people that are making okay money, but if you notice, all of the rich, wealthy Black people in the United States are not speaking out. It's us that are talking. You know, you don't see Jay-Z, Beyonce, and all these other people speaking out for Africa. Yeah, they went to the year return and did a photo op, but they're not the ones speaking out. You know, the Pan-Africans that are going back are the average Joes that you have a little bit of cash. You know, but a lot of the ADOS that are upset with Africa, they're broke. They're just as broke as you are, except for they look like they're not broke because we're broke at a different level over here. But they're still broke. A lot of people are getting food stamps. A lot of people are getting rental assistance. You got a lot of single mothers here. We're going through a lot of stuff here in this country, but yet and still, we're trying to fight. So to make a long story short, I don't think the fact that people are poor over there doesn't mean they can't use their voice. Look at what's going on in Nigeria. Those people over there are not rich, but they're speaking out. They're getting shot up and they're speaking out. We were getting beat up. We were getting shot and killed over here, even doing the speaking out against apartheid. You know, we gave our lives for a lot of that stuff.
Yes,
you know,
yes, I understand your point. I understand your point. So, like, the point that I'm trying to arrive here is this: there is a fine line between a political movement or a youth group movement and collectively, us Africans as a continent, to organize, let's say, a petition or something like that in the United Nations level to make sure that we fight for our brothers in the States or the UK or the Caribbean. This is what I'm talking about, because we lack the economic power, we lack the political power. So obviously we cannot have the social power. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, us in the Gambia, yes, when George Floyd was brutally murdered, we took to the streets as well. We went to the U.S. embassy. We went with our banners and everything. We went for a demonstration. This happened, but I am looking at things from a bigger perspective here. Something massive at the United Nations level. That's what I'm talking about. Not something from a medium time or a short time, but a long time goals for us Black people globally, not only in the US. This is what I'm talking about. Because listen, the structural thing affected all of us.
You're making a fair point.
It's a good point that you're making, and I understand it, but we can't wait for that. I mean, it's like, it would be great to have that position, and I know I'm not blind. I see when you guys do speak in United Nations, everyone leaves when it's your turn to speak. I've seen that happen. I've watched those things.
110%. Exactly, because Gambia was
guys. I want to bring Danny in. Okay? I'll bring Danny in. I'm going to let him speak first. I'm going to let him speak because it's that's okay. That's okay. Please stay around. I'm going to bring him in. Danny, you still there? I think you're muted. You're not muted. No, he's not muted. Danny. No, he's here. No.
You're only showing 4 people here.
Oh, really? Okay. It's hiding away. Are you there, hiding away? Wait. Sorry. Yes, sorry. Yeah, I'm adding. Yeah, here we go. Sorry about that. Danny, back.
Hello. This thing, right? And I keep on repeating it.
Was you listening?
I heard all nonsense. A bunch of words. They didn't say nothing. I just listened to it and nobody said nothing. It was a bunch of gibberish. This is why I keep on reiterating that ADOS as a movement, as a hashtag, as an organization, is something that people are claiming to represent that they're talking about. ADOS is politically based here in America. It has nothing to do with Africa. Nagmizi could open up 100 Feed the Children foundations in Holland and feeding all type of little kids from Croatia or wherever they come from, Guinea-Bissau or whatever, but that is not indicative of the agenda of ADOS, period. You can be ADOS by lineage, but you can call yourself something else. You don't have to associate with ADOS as the movement, because when you come on platforms and you say, oh, I'm ADOS, I'm the ADOS defender, but you have no idea about what the agenda is or what the platform is built upon, then you are creating confusion. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So all of these people, they have no idea what they're talking about. The other brother, listen, ADOS is something specifically. You can do whatever you want to do. If you're not cognizant of, if you can't name 2-3 economists associated with ADOS, what senatorial candidates ADOS was backing from your state, what this candidate was proposing at ADOS LA got put onto the ballot, and what legislation got passed because of ADOS LA, then you're not ADOS. You don't know what ADOS is about. You're not qualified to speak on it. Now, you may be ADOS by lineage, which is cool. I respect that. But you're not qualified to speak about the movement and what we're about. ADOS has nothing to do with Africa. Africa is irrelevant to ADOS. If you want to be African-centered, then disassociate with ADOS. Call yourself FBA. Call yourself B1. It's a whole bunch of other things you can call yourself. Just admit that you're Pan-African and that you come from slaves in America. But don't try to conflate ADOS with all these different ideologies, which is not about.
Okay. Danny, I'm going to let Nakamizi answer that, and then I'm going to go back to Mr. Pyro. Okay. So I'm going to let Nakamizi on. He's not. You're not unmuted, are you? You're not muted.
No, I'm not unmuted. Yeah, I'm just respecting the rules of the chat. When someone else is speaking, I'm quiet. But when I open my mouth, it seems like I'm getting cut off by a guy named Danny, who's been following me all over the place. So now I asked this person to what has he done for Black Americans in America? I got a big 0. He said charity starts at home. You can do it at home and you can hit these streets, okay? So I am an activist. My wife has a job and she's also a small business owner. So I'm the receipt guy, right? So we got these popping. Okay, this is made in my house. My wife and my daughter run this right here. I said that I do ties to my daughter every month, right? This, if y'all know what euros look like, this is when you really getting that money. When you getting money and you can support your community, then you're in a position to talk about what you're gonna do for Black people. But this dude Daniel, he knows everybody that's doing what, but he's not doing anything himself, and that is the problem. This dude is just a troll. Anyone in the chat will tell you that if you measure the level of respect versus disrespect tonight, Daniel has been the most disrespectful. He has showed himself to be a troll. He's not respecting the mute button, and he's hiding from the camera. Okay. Mr. Daniel, show yourself like you did last night. Show yourself.
About that?
I want to see that you had on, buddy.
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
Right there. Okay, I'm going to let Danny speak now, okay? I'm going to let Danny speak. Okay.
Now, as I reiterated, Meezy does not have the depth to have this conversation about ADOS. Every time we give him the mic, he talks about something totally irrelevant. About I'm a troll. It turns into these emotional, personal attacks. And I told you from the first time I came on your platform that I don't like coming in Pan-African spaces speaking about ADOS because the conversations are never strictly about the topic and factually based. We leave learning nothing. It's all emotionally driven dribble that has nothing to do with ADOS as a movement. Nothing. It has nothing to do with it. Nakamizi does not know nothing about ADOS other than my people were slaves and Africans this, Africans that, Africans whatever. And that has nothing to do with ADOS as a movement, period. He can't name me 3 content creators that's spearheading, that's putting in work for ADOS. He can't name me a senatorial candidate that's been on, he can't do none of this. He probably didn't even vote. That's one of the most important things. All that crap you doing in Holland with your biracial wife or whatever. What did you even vote?
Okay, so I'm just going to let Nakamizi reply to that. Okay. So the floor is unmuted. Go ahead, Nakamizi.
Thank you.
Is there any way we can reach a consensus on this, that there are different people within the organizations that have different ethoses, and it's a young, the ADOS community is still young in reality. I mean, the movement itself, the community is old, but the movement itself is quite young. Is these just young teething problems that we're seeing here with people trying to get together, trying to get on the same level? What's going on?
All right, so this is what we have, and I'm going to say this as respectfully as I can. What we have is an untraveled country bumpkin who's never seen the world versus a New Yorker that is well-traveled, well-educated, well-spoken. I speak 5 languages, okay? 5 languages. I'm a family man. I'm a husband. I'm a
speak of ADOS in the context of the movement?
Today, he's not respecting the mute button because he doesn't have self-control. He doesn't have self-control. So now, it's my time now, buddy. You claim that you don't like to go to Pan-African spaces. I'm going to tell you, this is a Pan-African space. Although I'm not a Pan-African, I came on here to address something about my my race, because that was a question I was posed as well. But it's been a very good conversation. So like I said, when I asked you the question, Daniel, what have you done for Black people in America? You said nothing. But I have started a community give back program. You can go to my video on 50 Deep. It's called 50 Deep Community Action Group. I do stuff and you talk. You follow people. You said, I can't name you one person that's doing work for ADOS. Yes, I can. His name is Nakmizi, and that's me. Okay, that's me.
Okay,
I'm talking about generational wealth for my daughter. I'm talking about businesses that my wife is running, and I'm doing it here where I am because there's no Black Americans here. But when I was in America, I still did the damn thing as well. You have, and you like to mention my wife, okay? I challenge you to put your wife on camera right now, and I'll put mine on camera. And we'll see who got the baddest wife, okay? How about we do that right now, homie? Matter of fact, show me a picture of your wife, and I'll show you mine, word to everything. Look, I want you to read something, buddy. This says, Aisha's savings, June 22nd to October 20, is full. Euros, 50s and better. What are you doing for your children?
What does this have to do with the fucking ADOS? What does this have to do with ADOS? You're talking a whole bunch of ad hominem and gibberish.
Go back on camera. I want to see that do-rag you had on. Come on.
It ain't a do-rag, nigga. It ain't a do-rag. It ain't a do-rag. It ain't a do-rag. I don't wear do-rags. I ain't from New York, bro. Huh? I got a Nautica hat on. I got a Nautica hat. I got a Nautica hat.
You still wear Nautica?
Sorry.
You still wear Nautica?
Guys.
You got a green hat?
You see the stupidity we gotta deal with?
I'm gonna get Mr. Pirate in, okay? And then I'm gonna speak
Yo,
to
look at how fast this dude's face.
Yeah. No, he can't hear you. I'm gonna mute everybody. And I'm gonna let Mr. Pirate Bra speak first, okay? Because I mean, obviously you can see what's going on here. What is up with this confusion? Why can't we? Why is there no unity even?
See, here's the thing. Look, I don't really know anybody on the panel, but I can only go by the words. And one thing I have to say is that when you have to basically infer that other people are ignorant, but you have to devolve into name calling and calling people out their name, especially calling other Black people the most debasing Black names used for Black people. It just shows a certain level of disrespect for your own people. You know, this is problematic.
What name did I use,
he's saying to name a few names, and I haven't been going out, and I know the people that are involved with ADOS, Antonio Moore, Yvette Carnell, Dr. Claude Anderson gets a lot of respect for it, and many others. So to have him try to give us a speed test, it's crazy, you know, and I don't think we should even acknowledge that. And he doesn't like Pan-African channels, but yet here he is.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to bring hiding away in. Are you still there? Hiding away.
I'm still here.
I'm sorry about this. Right. I want a continental African point, like perspective on this.
Yeah.
You know. This is difficult situation, man. This is a difficult situation that the brothers are going through. You know, I might see it as confusion, but Danny, the way Danny's speaking, he sounds like he absolutely knows what ADOS means, and there's no sidestepping or anything like that. It's straight down the line, and I think that's what he's getting a little bit annoyed at, that people are sort of veering off with it. And tell me what your point of view is.
My point of view, as I've heard so far, Yes, Black Americans need a political movement of their own. Yes, they need it in the United States. And if ADOS is the political movement, we are in every right to support them. But what I don't understand is the mission for the ADOS. Africa can't do nothing for ADOS. Africa doesn't have nothing to do for ADOS. The aim of ADOS is in the United States entirely. It's a political movement in the United States. The only thing Africa can do is to support Black Americans and to support the movement. Right now, the support for ADOS or Black Americans, whenever something happens to them, is not happening in Africa because because in Africa the media, the telecommunications, and the means of sharing information is not there. So these Africans are only learning that Black Americans are being shot in the street by police. Africans are only learning that this year with the George Floyd. So right now, Africans are starting to wake up and realize what's happening in the West, in the diaspora, and in America. So the movement to slowly support Black Americans is starting to pick up momentum. They're starting to understand what's happening in the wider world. So all this time is because the means of communications was not there. There's bad telecommunications infrastructure. Now, with the ADOS movement, they have a right to have their own political movement. They have a right to it, you see. But what I don't get is hating Africans. It's like the hate for Africans is like a straw man attack. You're attacking the person that's not even getting in the way of your progression. It's the United States itself that's your problem, not Africans. Your mission will not be accomplished by targeting Africans. Your mission will be accomplished by focusing your targets in the United States. Otherwise it's a straw man attacking Africans and hating them. Those Africans can't do nothing for you to get you into place. So you need that movement, but you need Africans to support you rather than hate you.
I agree.
Respect to hiding away.
If you share the same
I don't know. I can't hear him anymore.
I agree with him.
Man, everything is slow here. Are you still there? Oh, you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just adding San. Nice to see you back, San. Nice to see you back.
Thank you, bro. Thanks for having me, man. I just want to say what's up to everybody on the panel. Nat Meezy. Salute to you, my brother.
Okay. I just want to bring in God of Jacob first because he's been listening to this conversation.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to bring him in first. Nice to see you again, God of Jacob.
Yes, sir.
GOJ.
Can you hear me? Am I good?
I can hear you loud and clear. It's good to hear from you. Good to see you again.
Good. Salute to everybody on the panel.
Okay. Let me. You've been listening in patiently. I'd love to hear your point of view on this. Seriously, because it's confusing. It's confusing to me. I mean, of course, I'm not ADOS, but man, it's confusing. Give me your point of view on it.
It's really not confusing at all in my book because hashtag ADOS is just a political. It's a political movement at that time, at this current time. And just to address the brother a little bit, when he said Africans have nothing to do with it, well, he's kind of wrong. You inadvertently have nothing to do with it, but your numbers or your success in America is included with us. So it kind of masks our failures and it covers up the injustice that's done to y'all. For instance, Black Americans or Black immigrants who come in here and do well is included in our category, where it may look like Black Americans or ADOS is obtaining some type of success. We really aren't. Of course, you hear Nigerians say we are doctors, we are this, we are that, and it masks us. So we have to bring that out to let them know, no, ADOS Black, we're not doing good, but you're including them in our category, which skews or distorts the picture of Black America doing well. So, regardless of how you feel, we're going to bring it out. You get what I'm saying? We're going to say, no. You can't tie them to us because it makes us look like we're doing well. You can put out how many Black doctors and all this, that, and they look like Nigerians. They're not looking like ADOS. You get what I'm saying? So you have to be included in that data. Is the rhetoric kind of aggressive? Yes, it is. So what? You know, we grown folks, but it is what it is. It's not complicated at all. And you know, I hear a lot of people say ADOS is divisive, but they never explain how. They throw it out there and it's just supposed to stick. But I never hear anybody say how. I can say I don't like you, and guess what? I'm going to tell you why I don't like you, because you owe me money. I'm explaining why I don't like you. But to say ADOS is divisive and then no further, you know, there's not a follow-on sentences after that, I got issues with that. I have issues with that. So it's really not that complicated.
Okay.
Can we come back in?
Danny back in. I want to speak to San. San, you've been sitting here patiently listening to this. Don't know how long you've been listening to the rest of the conversation. Let me know what your feelings are on this, on that what we've been talking about. It's essentially carrying on from yesterday, right? That's for you, San.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
It seems to be a little better than yesterday. Yesterday was wild. I ain't gonna lie. It was like the Wild Wild West. And I wanna apologize for the part that I played. I could have kept my composure a lot better, but I got into my emotional bag a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. So my fault for that.
Okay.
But I think like we still got a long way to go, man. I mean, we still arguing and fighting like we back in high school, man. And it's, you know, I'm trying to make moves like go to Africa. I already caught my ticket. Me and my little mans, we're gonna be down in Rwanda, Kigali, God willing. What is it? January 1st. And you know, whether you're ADOS, Pan-African, Black Panther, you're still black in my eyes. You're still my brother. No matter what your agenda is, as long as it's positive and it's for the people, we can't expect everybody to just jump up and go to Africa. I get that. So the ones that are still on the continent, you know, in the United States soil or Europe or wherever in the diaspora, we just need them to hold it down. The ones that's going back to Africa, the boots on the ground, we need for them to hold it down. And we need to come to an accord where we could link up and, you know what I mean, just make this a lot better, because we still got a long way to go.
Okay. Well, fair enough. I'm going to bring Danny back in. Okay, real quickly. Danny, you've been listening in. I've had you on mute. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not on mute. Okay.
I actually agreed today with what the brother San just said. Like I agree with that's his name, Jacob, the brother with the hat who was here yesterday.
Yeah.
San, I agree with him. And see, this is where I keep on reiterating, but it's like people just don't get this aspect of ADOS, because people bring into the ADOS, which doesn't belong to conversation. I don't know if that's maybe a sign that maybe ADOS need to tweak. It's because, you know, our lineage is linked so much to the movement, us being descendants of slaves in America, and the conversation around reparations, it's linked so much to the movement that attracts a lot of low-hanging fruit. So now you got people who, okay, they can recognize the fact that, okay, I come from slaves. Yeah, I want reparations. So now they feel like once they get that aspect of the conversation involving ADOS, they feel like they're not qualified to speak on the overall message of what the movement is actually about and trying to accomplish and what it represents, when it represents so much outside of that in the context of what they're trying to accomplish in America. Lineage is just one aspect of it. It's just an aspect of it that secures our position here in America, where it solidifies who we are here in America for what we fight for in America. When we leave America, when we go to Holland, Europe, the conversation is no longer about ADOS. Like there's nothing to be accomplished in Europe or in Africa as it relates to ADOS. All we can do is like I say, why I supported what the brother said. All we can do is ADOS, and I'm talking as the hashtag the movement, is we're here to just be that foundation. When he's in Africa doing whatever he's doing, he know that whatever his power base, his support is gonna come from the fact that he's ADOS here in America. You know what I mean? Politically, however. And I just feel like this conversation, it's like it's so many low-hanging fruit that we can't get beyond just nothing. It turns into I did this. Hold on, I just want to make one last quote, because we keep on talking about what people doing. If you are not doing it within your community in America, the ADOS community which you came from, then it's irrelevant to the ADOS movement. That makes you a Pan-African. We support your global contributions to the Black race, but that is not what ADOS is about. That's all I want to say.
Okay. Thank you for speaking there, Danny. God of Jacob, what have you got to say about that? I'm going to let Mr. Pirate speak afterwards. What have you got to say about that? Do you agree with the brother?
To some degree, you know what I'm saying? And I don't care about the Black global movement right now. I mean, I'm just keep it 100. I don't care about what's going on in the continent right now, because my people are hurting. I don't care about moving to Africa right now because my people over here is hurting. You get what I'm saying? So again, I've always stressed this. It's about us being selfish for right now. And I don't care about what's going on in Rwanda, Ghana, X, Y, and Z. I don't care. You get what I'm saying? So I understand what the brother's saying. And I, you know, he has a good heart. I don't right now. My heart is where my grandmother and grandfather is buried at, and that's in America. You know, I see a lot of people in the chat again talking about it's divisive. So what? It's just the bottom line. So what? We earned that right to be divisive. We earned that right to seek and get what's ours. You get what I'm saying? So you have a lot of people telling you what ADOS is, literally this, that, and the third. We put out what we are. So it should be end of. For you to come behind us and tell us what we are, it's insane. You get what I'm saying? So I don't care about people saying it's divisive. It is what it is.
Okay. I'm going to bring Mr. Pirate in again, and then I'm going back to Nakamizi. You still there, mate?
Okay. Yes, my battery's about to die. That's why I took my camera off.
Put it on charge. Mr. Pirate, what have you got to say to that? To what Danny said more about?
Well, to you know, now that Danny calmed down a little bit, I'm hearing better what he's trying to say, and I agree with a lot of points that he brought up, and this last gentleman that just spoke. I agree with that. Now, I like traveling. You know, I plan on moving to Africa, but at the same time, this last gentleman that spoke, what is his what's his name? His handle?
We call him Jacob.
Okay, Jacob. Yeah, now that what Jacob had to say, I agree with him. I think people think we are divisive because we want what we need. It's not we want what we want. We want what we need. And we've earned the right to ask for it, to demand it, you know, and no one else has the right. It's like when the other day you guys on here were having a conversation. Well, I don't think that if they got cash reparations, they would do this with it and they would do that. It's nobody's business what we would do with cash reparations. No one has the right to speak on that.
But can I say something? Can I say something?
Sure.
Right. Maybe it is our business, because if you take the $20 trillion or whatever, and you just blow it, which would be extremely difficult to do, you blow it using engineering that's come from Europe, and everything else that has come from Europe and America, and it trickles down. You've empowered the same enemy, our enemy. You know what I mean? And
I get you, but is that so now you're being selfish? You see?
Well,
I mean, with no disrespect, you're saying that but if if you spend it wrong, this will happen to us. So you're being selfish because you're saying we don't deserve to get, because you're assuming that we're all going to be that way.
No. What I'm saying is,
let me ask you another question. Sorry to interrupt. I'll forget this. I'm, like I told you before, I don't mind saying my age. I'm 59. What am I going to do with programs? My daughter has finished college already. She's 37. What is she going to do with programs? That's right. And you give somebody a program, they can take it away. You give me $200,000. If I blow it, that's on me.
Damn right.
$200,000. You got to be expecting more than that.
I'm expecting way more than that, but I'm just saying, even that will get the ball rolling. That's like a down payment on the bill that you owe.
Okay.
But you can say, okay, we'll give you $1 million. If I blow $1 million, that's on me. But I can take that money. I can move to Africa. I can buy me the land that I choose, build the house I want, start the business that I want to start. Because if you stay here after you get reparations, you better believe they're going to find a way to take it back. They've done it throughout their history. Every time they've given Native Americans or Black people something, they've taken it away. So cash is the only way that you can get your money and escape. That's the only way. And maybe that's not the plan for this guy that just got finished speaking. Maybe his plan is something else. And he has a right to have that plan, but I have the right to want money. I don't have that much more time left. I can't, a program's not going to do me no good. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So you're telling me,
and if we're talking about being selfish, I have to be selfish.
Yeah. But don't you think, I mean, of course, I'm just thinking, I'm thinking pragmatically here, right? Let's think about it. Will the guys at the top, the people who will ultimately guide the ADOS ship and say, okay, then listen, you know, this is how the money's going to be handed out. Do you think they're just going to chop up the money and just hand it out? Or do you think they will put some form of restriction on that money and say, hey, you got to buy black, you got to, you can only spend it here. You can't spend on any items that have been produced in China or whatever. Don't you think they're going to do that sort of thing? I mean, I've got a funny feeling that if ADOS do pull through and they do win some sort of reparations, that I have a feeling that something like that is going to happen. I might be talking rubbish here, guys. You know what I mean?
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Sorry, who's that? Who's that? Nakmizi?
Got it, Jacob. Right quick.
Oh yeah. Please, yeah, go ahead.
Bro, y'all talking out of turn. I'm trying to be patient. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only one respecting the mute button.
I didn't see that. I didn't see. I did ask.
Yeah, and I love you got it, Jacob. That's my G right there. So to the brother with the big hat, you know what I'm saying? I respect you. I'm here tonight with my big hat as well. You know what I'm saying? So we all good on that. But let me address some people in the chat. Someone in the chat said, I can't deal with this flag waving, okay? Understand that someone who truly respects their lineage is going to rep the flag that their ancestors helped create the country that flag represents. And that's what I'm doing. Y'all never say that with the Jamaican flag. Y'all never say that with the Haitian flag. Y'all don't say that with the Brazilian flag, but it's only the American flag that y'all say that to. You see what I'm saying? So I would say, let me rock my flag and go off of what I do and not the flag that I rock. Now, the other question, the wife thing. And I think people on the chat can tell you, or on the panel, is that dude came at my wife first, calling her some sort of biracial. That's when I clapped back at his wife. So like I said, I don't take any shots without throwing shots back. And that's just who I am. I'm not a politician. I'm a warrior. I'm out here in these streets. There's people that are subscribed to this channel who stood with me on these streets in stuff that I personally organized. So when I asked Daniel what he does for Black people, he said nothing. So this is my point. When they say ADOS can be divisive and stuff, look, it's time to focus on our tribe. Now I focus on my tribe, but that doesn't mean I don't put in work for other black people as well. You have other people who are only focused on ADOS, and shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not living in America, so I'm still gonna do for black people that are here. And I got receipts. You could go to my channel and check it. So if y'all don't like my vibe and all of that, that's cool. I would just say do something for our people instead of just talking.
Can I respond to that?
Oh, so unapologetic Negro, Mr. Negro. You put a post on YouTube, and look, we've made some headway here, right? But you put a post on YouTube
I'm trying
about someone sent you an email, and I believe it was Yah B, questioning my blackness.
Man,
do you want to
we
address
don't
that, brother, so we can
address
get
that,
this
man.
out of
That's
the way
an
right now?
issue. We don't need to address.
But he put it up there, so I want him to stand on his square right now.
So someone did send an email. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you, bro. Speak on it.
Yeah, I don't know who it was.
Speak on it, because you question my blackness. So
he didn't question your blackness. He didn't question your blackness.
Let's get it.
The post was about ADOS in general. It wasn't about you specifically. They just used you responding to something you said. It's in the community.
You don't know what you're talking about.
It's in the community.
Brother speak behind the scenes.
All right, but you
Daniel, mind
the
your business,
conversation, bro.
Unapologetic Negro. Unapologetic Negro. Could you do you still stand on that? Because I want to have that out.
Yeah.
See, now this guy's calling me an N-word 2 times.
With my, just guys, I'm going to go and come back. Okay, I'm going to go and come back. I'm going to come off this because there's something wrong with my microphone. Okay, keep talking. I'll let you guys thrash it. Just chat, but be respectful. Okay, yet. I'll be right back.
Don't go away yet, bro.
What's wrong with this bloody microphone?
All right. I got it, Jacob. You there? They got it, Jacob. I guess everybody.
My bad.
I'm gonna mute myself too.
I'm unmuted.
Nah, it's all good. Now the brother put a video, a post out talking about he's questioning my blackness. So I wanted to have that out before we got off the line.
Man, that's the same
you know what I'm saying? We had a
people ain't got time for, man.
I think.
That's the same stupidity.
Man, why don't you shut your fat ass up?
That's the same stupidity people ain't got time for, man, surrounding ADOS. It's you that's throwing fuck shit into the game that's not even relevant to ADOS as conversation.
I'm not even talking to you.
You're all right.
I'm not talking
because
to you,
this the problem I got with you. You just come into the conversation with a bunch of bullshit that's not even pertinent to ADOS as a movement and to the shit. What I'm a book a flight to Holland, nigga? You way the fuck over there. You way in Holland in Europe trying to speak,
but anyway,
trying to speak for ADOS. You know what I'm saying? Worry about what's going on in Europe. Speak for Europe. Be the defendant of Europeans. You know what I'm saying? A black European.
Go make yourself another sandwich, fat boy. Let me see your abs.
Defender ADOS.
Let me see your abs.
Stop speaking on ADOS because all you're doing is just bringing confusion into the conversation. If you're not knowledgeable about what the actual conversation is, stop trying to put yourself to the forefront of it. Because you're causing a lot of distortion into the conversation, which is not about. It's not about whether or not.
Kick rock. I'm speaking to unapologetic Negro right now, brother. Do you still stand by your post where you said that I wasn't black? I want to get that out the air right now.
Sorry, my phone wasn't working. You hear me properly now?
Yes, I can hear you now. You made a post and it said you got an email, which I agree. You got the email questioning my blackness. Do you still stand on that post that you put? Because if you did, let's get it right now.
Okay. Sorry, give me a second. Could you
come on, man? Don't have these issues now, bro. We're gonna get it.
We're not. Listen, Nakmizi, we're not getting anything, right? you're 1,000 miles away from me. We're not getting anything. But listen,
I'm telling you, the man is a nutcase, man. Nigga's a nutcase.
What I will tell you now. What I will tell you now is that you saw that it was an email. You saw that I posted it. You saw that I was it was more about questioning the genetics of African Americans who have a sizable portion of European DNA, and I thought that's what they were alluding to. So somebody, just for context, so everybody knows what was going on. Somebody sent me an email concerning Nakmizi's racial background, essentially questioning it. And this is what confuses me. This is why I started the conversation off. I said, well, wait a minute.
Okay, so listen, can everyone on the panel hear me right now?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, so if Daniel will stay muted, I'm gonna deal with this. He got an email that questioned whether I was black or not. I don't think most people will even pay that too much attention, but he likes to point the finger at people who are lighter skinned by calling them mixed race. So
nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares, bro.
Can you mute him? It's irrelevant. I'm trying to speak to unapologetic,
man. This is low hanging fruit. This is the low hanging fruit I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is the low hanging fruit I'm talking about.
You made the post. So stand on your square, because give me 2 minutes. It
wasn't about you. It was about ADOS, man. I commented on the post. It's about ADOS.
Yeah. True. I mean, but the actual email that I posted today that I got off was directed. I think it was directed at ADOS. It was directed at ADOS.
Yeah, it was about
it not?
The fact that ADOS as an admixture.
No, it wasn't. It said Nakmizi. It said Nakmizi.
It said the problem with Nakmizi's argument is that ADOS are not like the African black because of the admixture in their heritage. Because we have an admixture.
With me. So now we're gonna have it out, and I want to talk to my brother.
Man, nobody gives a fuck about you, man. They just use you as an example because from the conversation that was had the day before.
Talking to me, slob?
Because you derailing the conversation. You derailing the conversation into something it doesn't need to go to.
I think
something it doesn't need to be.
You sent the email. That's why you steady talking.
I don't give a fuck about you enough to send an email about you, bro.
So why was my name in your mouth 14 times yesterday then? Why was my name constantly in your mouth? Because you love me.
You suffer from like delusions of grandeur, bro. Like, you really think you something bigger than you really are, bro.
What you say?
You really think you bigger than you really are, bro. Like you got these delusions of grandeur, this warrior mode, like you really like some super Negro. You know what I'm saying?
I am a super Negro.
Humble yourself,
super slob.
Humble yourself, bro. Come back to America.
You know why I'm not humble? You know why I'm not humble? Because we were humbled on slave ships. We were humbled during colonization. And humility means to have a low self.
This is why I have a problem with you speaking on ADOS. Because you're unhinged. You're fucking off.
And then you go cursing again. Unapologetic Negro. All right, everybody won't listen to this, right? But I'm going to speak because he doesn't want to address his comment. Muted me again. Yo, stop muting me, son. Let me get this. If you're going to say something, stand on your square. So I'm going to play something. Unapologetic Negro said that I'm mixed race because he has admixtures, but he's not keeping into effect the red Igbos from Jamaica. He's not keeping into account the Khoi and the San people, the Horners. But listen to what he says about his own journey to find his genetic. He said he went with his father's DNA and not his mother's because his mother has admixtures from Europeans. So if his mother has admixture from Europeans, then that means he is also a mixed race person that just happens to have a more of an African phenotype. Now listen to this.
There we have it. I'm an account. However, I'm not sure whether I'm a shanty or a fancy.
You know, as African Americans, we are all mixed in because most of us were raped on the plantations. So there's very few African Americans that are not mixed race. You know, it's It's just the lot that we have. So to get caught up in this conversation about who's more light skinned, who's more dark skinned, it's really, you know, it is kind of low hanging fruit because we're all mixed with something, and we're going to claim more because we're dark. One of the leaders of the ADOS movement is Yvette Carnell. She's light. She's very light, you know. And then some people try to talk about her because she's gay. So we bring in all of this low hanging fruit, which has nothing to do with the facts, with the economical facts.
Yep.
Our Yvette Carnell bring the receipts every time she speaks, and she's very light skinned. You know.
Thank you, my
so
brother.
you know, why are we even talking about a mixed race when we know we were raped the moment they got us off? We were getting raped on the slave ship. So I think this is an unfair conversation to even bring into an ADOS conversation. You know.
Thank you.
We can't
my
help
brother.
it because we were raped.
Thank you. This is what I'm talking about. Like, we distinguish between it and just because some people feel like because they have that lineage, they're allowed to take the conversation as it relates to the movement into a place where it doesn't even need to be at. ADOS has nothing to do with race, period. It's about lineage. So you can even be a biracial and be ADOS. It's not about that. So oversimplifying the conversation and making it be just about, oh, it's about Africans. It's like, bro, you don't even really truly understand what the movement even signifies, what it's about. Like, it's so much bigger than just because, oh, I'm American and you got a flag in the back of you, like you Captain America now, and it's like, bro, relax. You don't understand it. And the reason I came onto the platform, like I told you from the get-go, was to just bring like a bit of clarity into the conversation ADOS really represents and really wants and what is. And it's like, it's not about anybody hating Africa. And it's like we make up all these simple generalizations about the movement, but we're not talking about the facts. I mean, if you go on ADOS 101, the facts. If you tune into Yvette every week, the facts. What are they actually advocating for? You can go out into your local community and you see ADOS out there represent campaigning. ADOS is about campaigning, politics, things in your local community. It's not about what you doing a food drive in the middle of Holland somewhere. Like, that's good. We respect that. You're good for that. You know, right on, brother. But that isn't what ADOS is about. That isn't what ADOS is about. It's not about Africa. We support you. I mean, if you look at somebody like the Bag family, it's ADOS people in America that's donating to them just because they like what they're doing. They support it. We love that. We love to see you. Go ahead. Go to Africa. You good. You know, but when it comes to the conversation surrounding the movement, we don't need you coming into the conversation from Africa, distorting the conversation and making it into something it's not about. It's not about Africa. You never hear ADOS talking about Africa unless it relates to African immigrants in America. And that's when they come into the conversation and try to derail it from what we're talking about. So we need clarity as to what it actually represents and what we're talking about, because we can't be talking about 3 different things, 5 different things, because it's not about none of that. It's really, and this is disrespect to anybody, and I apologize if people felt disrespected from the chat, but I mean, like, the energy, man, you know, I'm ADOS, you know, we stupid. That's what we do. We about that, like that. You know, you want to get personal, get tough guy, tough. We about that, you know what I'm saying? I apologize, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't want this to go in that direction, and I'm sorry that it did.
Guys, listen. I'm gonna let my man speak. The dreadlocks. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You stupid.
Gentlemen, how y'all doing, man? I couldn't take it no more. ADOS, American Descendant of Slaves. They coined it as a movement, but believe you me, all the Africans on the channel, I'm sorry, we coming. That's just all to it. A lot of us are coming. This is 400 years. A lot of these prayers that our ancestors, and I ain't talking about far from across the boat. I mean, the one that got off. They prayed for something, and it's some sizzle in our spirit nowadays. You know what I mean? A lot of us. Am I here to fight with the Pan-African? Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Dude with the hat, you a fucking Pan-African by definition. It's nothing we can do about this deceptive English language we speak. Also, I want to say too, man, bro, like for real, I'm Southern as fuck. I got a degree in architecture. Just because I talk like this don't mean that I'm ignorant. Those are the things that keeping us fucked up. On
That's
the
right.
cool, we
That's
can't
right.
get nowhere because the first thing we do is, and I get it, fam. I heard Butter chop it up. People, a lot of African Americans, we come from a warrior culture, man. That's our culture. So we talk hard. It'll feel divisive. I'm sorry, African, but when we just like it because when we acted a fool, like Buddy say, we liberated South Africa, but we was getting hung. I went to Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church. If you look at the MLK, that was the church they was at. You understand? Bro, man, a lot of them people was, yes, let's go with them, boss. My folks, I don't trust them. That's how we are, man. And I admire the British cats. I like the way y'all speak English. That shit is dope. Hell, I wish I was on y'all boat ride, but I don't even know y'all story. So a lot of us just learning our story. And I'm gonna tell you, Negro Pen, I ain't like your ass at first, bro, but I had to sit down and look at you for a while. I said, you know what? I get it. He giving facts. That's it. He's not spruing that extra shit. He just giving them facts. Fam, unfortunately, YouTube decided up where people can get on here and do what they want to do. They could do what they want to do, but I didn't get nobody's name, but I'm going to call you Pirate. Bro, I feel you. You 51. Give me my money. I'm 41. 10 years your junior. I got a fake kneecap. I used to jump out of airplanes for the United States Army. Yes, I've been to Iraq. I beat some motherfuckers' ass. And I dream about
That's
death
right.
every night.
Come on. That's right.
I dream about
Talk
death
to 'em.
every night, but Africa sizzle in my spirit. But my grandma buried down there. A lot of us are torn, man, on the cool now. I'm talking about the reason why I came on here is give you a real person's perspective that's not a part of no movement, but I identify with ADOS and Pan-African. Because Marcus Garvey moved me when he first spoke. When I first heard that man say, he said some crazy shit, but I said, I never heard a black man talk like that before in my life. Not in real life. Not the one that's not beating his son ass, telling him to toughen up. Because you know when we go out there, man, it ain't passive like in the UK. I was stationed in Bristol for a little bit. So I got a chance to like dabble a little bit in the UK. It's a little passive over there. I'm from the South, man. They bring it straight to your face. And guess what? We here for it too. That's why we like that. I apologize for Art Cathy, fam. I really do. Our ignorant ass sisters got loose before we did. And it's a lot of shit, a lot of divisive African people. Y'all got to understand something. I come from a little bit of ass African village called Camilla, Georgia, full of racist rednecks and Confederate flags. But guess what? We barbecued during the hurricanes. We had fish fries because we know we didn't have insurance. So what I'm gonna do is now I've retired. I have land there. And I'm gonna go buy land in Africa. My children gonna be able to connect because what partners say with the ADOS, us acting foolish and divisive. I'm sorry, fuck. I told you we emotional.
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Go ahead.
Us acting foolish and divisive liberated this motherfucker. Straight up. We were few when they locked up the only African dude that was in Black history. Nelson, get him out. That's how we were. Fuck that. We had African people screaming, Black power, Black power. You remember it. You remember it? I don't. I was a baby. But what I'm saying, folks, believe it or not being able to look over our tribal differences gonna keep us fucked up all the way around. Pano, I'm pointing like this shit dope, but I think you got a Navy hat on. I ain't for certain, but I think I see the ankles in the rockers. Pano with the Navy hat on, I get where he coming from. He said, I got to take care of the front. Partner up there, I get where you coming from. Boy, Negro Pen, I watch you every day. You chopping their ass up. And honestly, all of this shit is needed. It's called a filter, Mr. Negro Pen. It's called ADOS. And partner over, man, partner, I'm going to tell y'all, fam. We all need, man, when we all get to fucking Africa, one day our children, all the Africans still going to be tribal. For real. So when we screaming ADOS, Pan-African, I'm letting y'all know right now, I am from the tribe of the African American. That's where I'm from. I did all the ancestral DNAs and all of that, but I know I got to go into the society and amalgamate with the society. And at the same time, I ain't gonna not be me. I ain't gonna complain, but I'm not going to be me. So with that being said, man, I just want to appreciate y'all boys for this, but I ain't gonna lie. All that divisive shit and this shit that's going over there, it ain't even divisiveness. It's arguing about nothing. If you look at it, right? Me, I used to fight dogs when I was little. You get 2 game dogs, man, 2 good game dogs, and I know I could go to jail. Y'all think it's some crazy shit. By me saying that, it's worse than the fucking Jews talking about Jewish folks. Peter, come through this bitch and swoop me off YouTube right now. Straight up. They don't give a fuck about us. They'll have a court case about a black man getting killed. That is what ADOS is fighting for. Like on some real shit. And Pan-Africans, we feel you. The ranks just getting bigger. And Africans, gentlemen, y'all just keep making that good ass food. We're gonna come teach y'all how to fry chicken and shit like that. And we're gonna bring our sick asses over there and just make it balanced. I think that's what it takes. A little balance. Y'all need this because a lot of them boys are too they take too much from Europe. I think we'll beat their ass if we was over there. Literally. No, they're fighting. Nah, bitch, we catching bullets. Get it together while we catching bullets. I was an infantryman. I believe in that train of thought. I really do. I grew my hair so I can change my mind. I don't know what that means, but it feels good to me. What I'm saying is we got to really and truly come together. Just identify who we are and stand on it. White people don't come together. You know it. You from UK, they don't come together. And to honestly, I respect the title, I respect the dialogue because it allows me to get frustrated. I'm a man with a little money, I got a little children, and I can move to Africa tomorrow. Y'all know what total and permanent is if you wear a Navy rocker. I ain't got to say nothing else. I don't have to say nothing. I can move tomorrow, and bruh know that too. The thing is, man, my grandma buried in that place. So don't knock us when it comes to that. And African people, I understand y'all really don't care for the aggressiveness, but you like our culture. We the most influential culture of people on the planet, for God's sakes. Please respect our mind on our aggressiveness. And I'm sorry, and I'm gonna digress on that. Yeah, I appreciate y'all, but y'all respect our aggressiveness. That's how you get shit done. As Asante said on the damn American Gods, which was dope. I read about that and I learned about that when I was little too. We all African a little bit. I'm just American as fuck. But we all African a little bit. And that's one thing we got to always remember. African descendants of slaves that were African. We got to remember that, family. So Buddy pop it off and Holland, man, I respect you. Got your bad bitch from Holland. That means we just tearing up the ecosystem. I ain't lying. It's gonna be black again. But I'm gonna leave that alone, champion. I love y'all, bro. I just want to chime in and get that because my fucking hell was about to come out, right? And I said, you know what? I watch Negro Pen every day. Y'all bring me in.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. All right, I'm gonna bring everybody else back in. San, what have you got to say to that, San?
I'm a little confused. I mean, like, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know how to take that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, from what he first said, I mean, I'm just a young brother trying to go to the continent and make something happen and hopefully inspire other people that look like me. That's all I'm trying to do. Ain't no, it's that simple, really. But I'm not naive either, because some of that talking I'm hearing, it almost sounds like a down south versus up north thing.
Yeah.
And that ain't cool. And I know it exists, because I done lived in the South for about 13 years, and I had plenty of run-ins with brothers from the South that didn't like me just for the fact that I was from up north and the way that I talk.
It's crazy.
I'm not on that.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show you, like we were talking about yesterday, how much work we need to do within ourselves. But all I was trying to say was we can't forget about the continent either, because I truly believe we're the missing link to what's going on in Africa. The diasporans. I think we're that missing piece of the puzzle, not the Chinese, not the Lebanese. I think it's us that needs to go back there and at least try to help fill the void, or do the best that we can.
San, can I say this? Can't we have the ability to do everything, to get reparations, to fight for reparations, to fight to help our African brothers and sisters on the continent? We could do everything. The Chinese are doing it now. It's not like everyone's moving over to Africa. The Chinese have people everywhere, and they are comfortable doing so, building up wealth all over the world, and they're comfortable doing so, knowing that they can move wherever they need to move. They don't have this, what we're doing, where we're, oh, wait a minute, we're kind of bickering amongst each other, when in reality, we can have everything. I try not to say anything racist on here, but we're the best, right?
I agree with you. But can I ask you a question, Negro Pia?
Go ahead.
In your humble opinion, how much money you think, let's say they gave us the reparations, right? Which, okay, cut the check. I get that. But I'm not leaning on that. I'm going to do me regardless, with or without a reparation check. But my point is, how much of that money you think the diasporans are going to invest into the continent? How many people do you think is going to be out here buying all kind of new vehicles?
That's not the issue. I don't think that's the issue.
It's all right. It's all right. Huh? Jacob's going to answer this one.
Here's my problem. We putting the cart before the horse. You get what I'm saying? It's always what you think they're going to do with the money. Let's get to the money first. You get what I'm saying? It's always, oh, they can't handle the money. What they going to do with the money? Stop that. We still a young movement. And when you really look at it, we are a young movement. We trying to get politically aware so we can be economically strong. So the question or this type of phrasing always come up. Do you trust them with the money? What are they going to do with the money? That's irrelevant right now. What we need to do is start what we need to start at, and that's politically and trying to galvanize ourselves to be smarter in this system. I don't want to hear about what you're going to do with the money. When they say, or if they, I might not see reparations in my lifetime, but I'm going to fight trying. And I'll tell you one thing, financially, I am good. When I say I'm good, I'm good. I don't have to care. I got my own business. I do all right. You get what I'm saying? So financially, I could not care. I could not give a damn. But I know everybody ain't like me. Everybody's not comfortable like me. So I'm tired of hearing about, can they handle the check? Can they do this, that, and the third? If you really know ADOS, it's not all about that check. If you go on ADOS 101, the money aspect is at the bottom of the list. But somehow the check is the first thing that get brought up. And I don't understand that. So let's not focus on what you're going to do when you get the check. Help us get the check. Help us get legislative change. Help us get economically strong. Bring them ideas to the table. When the check come, we can hold some financial classes. We can put them on the table. But we got to get to the check first. You just spent it or thinking about spending it before you even put in the work to get it. So I think we should back off on how we going to spend that check. I don't care how you going to spend that check.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Okay.
Do you think, it seems like there's a rift between, I know I'm kind of stating the obvious, but the big rift between Pan-Africans and ADOS I don't even understand really why it exists. We're all black. Why can't just Pan-Africans do what we got to do on the continent? ADOS do what they got to do over here, and let's just link, or try to connect.
Can I catch that one?
I'll answer it. Oh, go ahead.
Do you mind if I mention something?
Ideally, go ahead, sir.
Do you answer that?
Yeah.
Do you want to answer that,
Go ahead,
Mr.
sir.
Pirate?
It's kind of answering the question a little bit, and it's going back in history. We have to go back and look at the several different leaders that have come to Africa and it changed their outlook. Let's take the most obvious, Malcolm X. He thought a certain way until he went to the African continent, and then he started changing. And he was changing so much that the CIA was following him while he was in Africa. And then when he got back to the United States, he was so different that his there's an echo or something going on.
Oh, wait. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then when he got back home here to the States, the Nation of Islam silenced him. You see, so you got to understand, you got to look at that, and then once you see that, you realize that the two are intertwined, and until we understand that, it's going to be hard for us to really get ahead in both movements.
Can I touch on that?
Sure.
Yeah. Go ahead, son.
I mean, I just want to kind of like bring it back, because when you talk about Malcolm X, you're not even talking about Pan-Africanism. You're talking about his how he evolved within Islam. So let's not confuse the situation as if Malcolm X went to Africa and became this big Pan-Africanist and wanted to go save Africa. He didn't. That's not what happened. He went to Mecca, seen all type of white, Croatian, Yugoslavian Muslims, and they all prayed together, and now he had an epiphany, and he came back a different man. And you can make the argument that he wasn't the same Malcolm after that, So
right.
Just not to divest into a different subject. But as far as the Pan-African thing go, and I know that's why I like to come on here at first, to kind of like bring understanding and just bring fact to the conversation, because it's too much emotions, too much just personal, just thoughts and feelings. But if you look at the ADOS movement from how it evolved, it has been, and I'm not stating this is trying to be divisive, but it has been Pan-Africans and blacks and immigrants that has had the most smoke for ADOS. And that's just a fact. I mean, every corner we try to make, it's like we always got to fight off the Pan-Africanists telling us, oh, you just want to be in America. Oh, you want to stay with your master. Y'all ain't gonna never get reparations. And it's like, dog, we've been fighting so long. If you just go down the timeline for the last 3-4 years, it has been non-stop battles with Pan-Africans and space. I won't say continental Africans, second generation immigrants. Yeah. That has been our battle. We have not even made it to fighting white supremacy, because we ain't finished fighting y'all yet. And that's why I say we need to understand what ADOS is and what we talking about, because we bringing a lot of stuff into the conversation that doesn't need to be there. So it's like you were saying about Pan-African. If you want to be Pan-Africanism and that's what you, brother, we support you. Hey, go on. And I'm not saying that sinning. But it's like, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? ADOS, we gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? We gonna hold it down while you gone. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be that support you need over there. If Africans one day switch on you and they turn xenophobic like in South Africa, they know they're gonna have to answer the ADOS in America. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta look at it like that. You can't look at it as if try to change us to get on board your ship. That will never happen. ADOS will never support. It's a lot of ADOS that don't know nothing about Africa, don't care about Africa. It's like the brother from the Gambia yesterday. Like, I mean, Art Cathy is probably the most famous Gambian ADOS people know. It's like we don't even know, we're not even interested in it. There's so much stuff going on here that we concentrated on that we don't have time for that. And the last point I want to make is that reparations I know you say you've taken our check to go to Africa with the reparation, but that's not what that check for, my brother. For real, that check for communities here that we done established and worked for that need that money. That money is not to be made to go to Africa. That's not even a part of the program, a part of the agenda. That's all I wanted to say on that.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, you're still muted. I wanted to bring this back to Akan tribes. Was you listening to the rest of the conversation? Okay, fair enough. Sorry, you're still muted. I wanted to bring this back to Akan tribes.
Hello, my Englishman, my brother.
Hello.
I was. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello, brother. Hello, my Englishman.
I think it's his computer. His computer's on.
Yeah, can you hear me now? I was. Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah. What I've got to say is that, well, the conversation I was listening to is basically, I mean, Black Americans and ADOS actually having their little conversation, which is quite interesting. Most times, I mean, you go on their panel, that's what you basically hear, they're trying to make sense of what, their existence going forward is, which is fine. I mean, in-house, you need to actually try and do that. Now, coming back to, is it Nick Neasy, the chap from Holland? He mentioned the fact that, Africans didn't protest, or Africans don't help out when Black Americans, get into trouble.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I think we need to realize that we need to put things into perspective and dates. If we look at, say, 1960s, when Black Americans were entering the 60s through nonviolent protest and legal actions, to try and make a difference. They were fighting on two fronts. They were fighting the American imperialism, and they were also fighting colonialism on behalf of their brothers in Africa, as I stated earlier. So basically, the Africans in Africa were actually coming out of colonialism and didn't know exactly anything about the rest of the world because they had their own battles to fight. So the Black Americans were the ones who actually went there to try and open up their eyes. And a few people in Africa, like Kwame Nkrumah and Jomo Kenyatta, and quite a few of them also went to study abroad and said, oh, wow, so this is exactly the colonials who are actually, actually trying to use Christianity and Bible and everything to suppress us. But over here, our brothers are actually physically fighting them. So it's Nkrumah and them lot that realized that, oh, okay, the white man's got their foot on our necks globally, not just in America. And they came in and try and institute, trying to do their liberation. But the ordinary African aren't exposed to what's going on outside, even up to today. If you go to Africa today, which are, as a kid, I was sent to Africa to live there, and all I watched was African soaps, Chinese kung fu, Indian soaps, well, a few, like Black American movies and also the sitcoms. That's all there is. There's nothing about Black American struggles. There's not even anything about slavery on African TV. Nothing like that. So basically, they ain't that exposed to Black American struggle. So when it comes to things like protest, if you look at even George Floyd and all that stuff, it was going on in Australia, it was going on in New Zealand, Europe and all that. But in Africa, apart from Nigeria, because Nigerians are a lot in America, you could see that most of the protests in Africa was centered in Nigeria because Nigerians are exposed to America. They know the struggle. They're in America more than most other, and then Ghana and a few other places. You get me? So we shouldn't be too hard on Africa when it comes to, not voicing out when it comes to, what goes on outside the continent. You know, so let's look at that. That's a little bit I want to say for now, that we need to try and put things into perspective. You know, that there's a lot of things that could be done, but it's only now that the internet is beginning to penetrate. If you go to Africa today, the internet that you use in America is 100 times faster than what they use in Africa. A lot of them are not even on YouTube like we are. They're not exposed. A lot of them are not even on YouTube. Like we sit on YouTube 7, 8, 9 hours. They can only go on YouTube for 30 minutes or 1 hour for that. You get me? They go on data. We go on like free plan. So it's different. It's only recently that now they're beginning to see what's happening in the world. And one or two of them are now beginning to voice out. So please, let's just you know, try and keep emotions in check and try and look at the bigger picture. Yeah, that's a little bit I gotta say for that. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
Hello, you still there?
I'll respond to that.
Go ahead.
When I said this, I didn't say it as an emotional response. I said it as a factual response. These are facts of what we did, and the fact that we want Africa to voice when we're being abused over here in the United States. And the gentleman up top, I think his name is Danny, he said, yeah, if we go over to Africa, okay, we can go on over there. And if something happens to us over here, we need them over there to speak out for us. And see, somebody brought up China. The reason why China is so successful in Africa, the world, is because when Africans go there and when Chinese go there, if something happens to one of them, not a group, just one, the embassy is talking to the top people in the government in that country. So they have a base to come and protect them while they're over there. Mm-hmm. And you see it all the time, you know. So this is the reason why they're so successful, because even though they go there, they're not alone. Mm-hmm. They have somebody that's going to speak up for them.
Yeah, precisely. Precisely. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
You was finished, brother?
Yeah,
I just wanted to speak on because both of them was right. If the African brother and like follow like ADOS, the movement and the conversation, because the conversation constantly evolving. We're not stuck on like we so past Africans, but like he say in the 60s, ADOS was fighting a fight against American white supremacy and on the continent, and was welcoming that fight. And like the brothers say up top, that after that fight, it wasn't reciprocated when Africa gained independence. It's from our point of view. Like we feel like, dang, we did all that. We fought for immigrants to come here. We protested for Mandela, did all this. And then now we still get they other us. You know what I'm saying? And then they come here as if they don't even recognize that. But I'm glad that the African brother recognized that though, and voiced that opinion. But see the fundamental difference between ADOS and like the brother up top, Pirate, is you see how he said, all we want is for you to recognize that and treat us the same. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. ADOS don't feel like that. ADOS feel like we just want you to remember that because it's over with. We're not going through that no more. We're going to concentrate all our resources, our efforts, and all our fights in America to fight for whatever going on. You're going to fight on behalf, but we not do that again because we went through that. And we got 60 years of evidence to show that we still talking about we still begging Africans to be united with us. It didn't work. So now we're just gonna concentrate our efforts in America. And it's a woman in a comment, and I got a lot of respect for her too, named Rokoya. I watched the live when her and Nakneezy went through it, when he jumped out the adder, right? And she says something that I have a very myopic view of the world. And that's why I think like that. But see, this is what I'm saying. Like, she doesn't understand ADOS because that's ADOS point. That's what we about. We are concentrating all our efforts, all our thoughts, all our resources into one myopic point of view, one place, America. We don't care about nothing. Like, we're not even thinking outside of that no more. We're not wasting our resources trying to worry about Africa and what we could build in Africa, and because it doesn't work. It hasn't worked. It has gotten us nowhere. And what it's done is we've taken resources away from our communities and divested time into things that we could be doing here. And even the time that we spend arguing about Africa is counterproductive because it won't change nothing here. And that's why I say, like, we need to understand what we, and bring this conversation back to a point where we get a clear understanding where it's not about hate. It's not about I hate Africans. It's not about none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's about we just concentrating our efforts here. And if later on, if you need something where you need to contact ADOS and you want ADOS to show up, because, you know, we like protesting and marching, we'll burn some shit down too. But you just gonna have to you're gonna have to come to us as in a different manner now. We don't owe you nothing, but if you come to us as allies, like, hey man, we want to end SARS, man. We need y'all to represent in America ADOS. It's like we cool with that. We about that. That's a part of our culture. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Thanks for that. Listen, this was only supposed to be for 2 hours. It's coming up to 3 hours, so I'm gonna let everybody else say their last words now. Okay, I'm gonna start off with at the top with Mr. Pirate, and then we'll go through. Any last words? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting conversation, and I think there's a lot of points that the gentleman was making that just got finished speaking that you know, they're worth listening to and paying attention to, because we have been caping for everybody else and nobody has been reciprocating that. And now what's happening is people are starting to get upset because, hey, wait a minute, why aren't you guys caping for us anymore? Like, it's even when Ghana had the year of return, they didn't want us to come back. They wanted us to invest. You know, it wasn't like they really wanted us to come back because, hey, we miss you. Welcome back home. Welcome your money home. You know, and like, we have money. So I think this is really a answer, and it's like a knee-jerk reaction from all of this that's been going on for the last 60 years. And this generation of our youth has had enough. And our youth has always been in a fight. When I was doing a lot of the stuff, I was 18. If you look back at Martin Luther King, yeah, he was out there a lot of times, but most of the time they were high school and young first-year college students. Go back and look at those old black and white videos. They were kids, you know, and it's going to be the kids that make this happen. Even if the ones in Africa, they're going to have to, it's going to be the young kids that's going to have to step up and say, we better help these guys over in the United States, or we're not going to have that energy. You know, okay. That's all I got to say.
Fair enough. Thank you, Mr. Pirate Brain.
Thank you for having me on.
No, it's anytime. Jacob, let's speak. Let's start with any last words. Oh man, do you know what? Yeah.
I'm back. Yeah, my whole thing is, you know, for me and my stance, I'm not about to accommodate the ADOS message to make people feel good. I'm not doing that. You get what I'm saying? If you want to feel good, if you want to kumbaya, go to Pan-Africanism. They got all the hugs and quotes from dead men. Can you hear me now?
Perfect.
What am I doing? Am I good?
Much better. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not about to accommodate the ADOS message to accommodate people who got their, you know, feelings kind of toe up. I'm over that. We fought too hard to you know, get to this point, if you, like I said, if you want hugs and kisses and you want an all black is black thing, then be my guest, go to Pan-Africanism. Pan-African, that ideology has been around for a long time, and we still at the bottom. I'm talking about my group. We still are bottom of the all black is black for some reason. You get what I'm saying? So if you want the kumbaya, the door is that way. But we are specific. We got to get out here and do what we need to do. And I understand the pushback. I do understand the pushback. Why? Because the umbrella would be gone. If ADOS was to create its own census category and transition the policies for that group, that means Black immigrants would have to advocate for themselves in a sense. They can't ride the coattails of my lineage. So I understand the pushback. I understand the pushback, and I get it, but I don't care. And I know it sounds mean. I don't care right now. I really don't. And that's all I'm saying.
Thank you, God of Jacob. San, go ahead. You got to unmute yourself, though.
Oh, my fault.
That's better.
We good? All right, thank you. Well, once again, thank you for having me. I do think this is another topic we should pick up again. I really do. Because I still feel like we're getting somewhere. It's better than the first one. This one kind of is the launch pad. And I think if you could do one more at least on this, just for clarity. Second of all, in my humble personal opinion, I feel as though as African Americans, we should not forget Mother Africa. It's a no-brainer that that's where we come from, and we got every right to be there just like anybody else in this world, if not more so, because we were kidnapped from there. And that's just something I'm always going to stand on. And I rocks with ADOS, Pan-African, Black Panther. As long as it's a positive movement for us, there should be no problem. I mean, it just should be what it is, just different factions. But at the end of the day, the reason why I said we at least need to do another one, because these things we're starting to hash out. This one went a lot better than the first one.
Yeah, I'm happy about that, and I've learned a lot as well from this. Thank you, San. Just keep your eyes open, because it's likely we're going to be back on. Probably going to chop this up. Thank you.
I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
Keep doing your thing, Negro.
I'm going to keep going, man. I'm going to keep going. Thanks for the support. Okay. Thank you.
All right, bro.
You. The last guy, gentleman here. I'm trying to see your name again. I can't see you. No, I can't. I think he's gone. Okay, guys. I thank you very much, man. Thank you again, Jacob. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and sharing and supporting and everything else. Lots of respect, lots of love for everybody. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Ta-ra a bit. Ta-ra.